Now available at the Dix Division Prepper Warehouse, the latest in summertime fashion, the all-new Culture Casino brand banana hammocks and slingshots. With sizes ranging from Extra Jed to Culture's Yeti Arm to Drew's Suspension Bridge, you'll feel comfortable no matter your size or location. Stop by Thursday and get a 20% discount on all banana hammock hand cannon hangers. Dix Division Prepper Warehouse. Open late Monday and Thursday on Comix Division's channel.
Folks, and a hearty welcome to our drive-in theater. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you, one that will provide several hours of pleasurable relaxation and diversion for you and your family. Did you fail to dress up for tonight's show? No tie, an old shirt and slacks, a house dress? Well, don't give it a thought. We're glad you came as you are. We just want you to enjoy yourselves. Don't forget to visit our refreshment center during the intermission or any time. You love the tasty array of snacks we have to offer. So will the youngsters. Everything is quality and so good. We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends. There are always wonderful new pictures to see, delightful snacks to nibble, a gay, pleasant evening for all. Oh, a word of caution. Don't drive over 10 miles an hour in the theater area for your safety's sake. And Mom or Pop, go with the kids when they leave the car. We hope you have a wonderful time. Come back soon.
Member stream.
Big member stream.
Indeed.
That's huge. It's uncomfortably large.
Huge.
Huge.
How you doing, Tox?
I'm here. We had a great day. Had a family event that we went to. It was really nice, and I got to have some lunch with family. Played a few games. Made it back here, and just in time to be on the stream. So, feeling good. How about you, Comics? How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah. I was telling the guys before you showed up how basically I spent most of the day trying to do repairs to my pond, and so my my liner for the pond has torn in a very inconvenient place where the water goes into the skimmer. And
I hear that happens when you get older.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It happens a lot, actually. And so I had to put my fish in a holding tank so I can get a new a pond liner. So yay, lots of fun.
Bentonite.
Yeah,
That's what we always use for ponds, bentonite. But all right, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Koi pond. I like koi.
Oh, koi.
It was hard work, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it wasn't a euphemism.
Don't be coy about it.
That would be a fish.
Oh, God.
I'm not going to be coy about my koi fish.
Yeah.
So anyway, Reuben, I'm sorry. I kind of cut you off when I was saying hi to Tox. What's up, dude?
Who cares? What? Huh? Oh,
Huh?
hi.
Hi.
I'm doing fine. Look at these fine gentlemen on the screen with us.
Indeed. What's up, No Green Rocks? How you doing, sir?
Oh man, I am so tired but energized. We were able to get a Legion of Memers live stream going yesterday, which was fantastic. Reuben showed up in the chat, saw him there, and a whole bunch of others. For something that was super impromptu, it did really well, and I'm blown away by the support of the community. You know, the fellowship is always there, pushing me forward. You know, you guys were like, you know, just do it. And I was like, all right, screw it. Let's go and do it. And, you know, it's turned out pretty well. So I really just wanted to express my gratitude towards everybody in this community. Without them, there would be no us. So truly, thank you guys.
Awesome, man.
Well, thank you, bro. You guys are awesome.
Real quick question, No Green. When you guys are doing a live stream as the Legion, is there anyone out there doing memes? Or,
yeah, I mean,
are you memeing each other?
The chain of memers.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have everybody on the stream because StreamYards only allows for 10 as far as
I mean,
I'm
have you
aware,
seen Captain Phil in real life? No.
Had I seen him in a
No, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
But I boomered it up quite a bit, and there were quite a few nerdrotic memes that came out with me. So that was really fun.
It's good.
But
I'm
you're
glad you
realizing
did
that
Gary.
now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Were they
You're
basically
realizing
you as
that
Gary?
now.
Yeah, it's basically they put Gary's beard on my mask like the whole time.
Nice.
How you doing? 5 picoseconds.
I'm doing great. I got a nice new stack of comics. I saw a friend that came back from working at Tesla. It's been pretty good. Pretty good day.
Nice.
Also, I got my ISOM stuff right here just to show off. I got my
Yeah, I still need to read mine.
It's so cool.
Finally
In
got to
case
mine.
you haven't noticed, Comix is a tad bit lazy.
I've noticed.
Yeah,
Just
I am kind of or
He
busy with other
procrastinates.
things.
Well, okay, yeah, all right, sorry.
Procrastination is actually a really good word to describe me at times. If the shoe fits, you know. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Right before I got on here, I was trying to find something to open an EPS file with. My wife found a viewer that I can download. My comic book shop needs me to paint their logo on their glass window outside. I talked to them last week when I went to get my books. So tomorrow I'm going to put their, it's called Excalibur. It's got the sword going through some nice lettering. And I got to do that on the outside of the store for them. So I'll be working on that this week. Yep.
Nice.
Other than that, just doing my channel, you know.
Are you gonna share it on socials so we can see it?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I'll probably do a little not a short, but a little video with them there at the store once I get it done, you know. It'll only take me a couple of days probably. I'm gonna get some sign painters one shot. It's on glass, so it won't take it's only 3 colors. It's white background, black lettering, and some red detail, and that's about it.
Are you going to time lapse it, or just like at the end you're going to show us it?
I'll show it to you. I'll probably take pictures the whole way. That's what I usually do. Yeah, I'll do a slideshow of it or something.
Oh, very cool. Yep. Reuben, how you doing, sir?
Doing very well. It's been a good week. I got to see my doctor. It's been a while since March, getting checked up. Quantified that I have been losing weight, which is good. All of the vitals are good right now. The mass that I have in my stomach is actually decreasing, so it's more likely a fatty tumor and nothing bad.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, but basically, I just basically say, you know what, drink a lot of water, consume a lot of good food. Then, of course, Friday have a drink or whatever. But still doing the right things for my body. But I'm going to get some more tests done because there's a possibility that there are some other conditions showing up. And I need to address those. So I will let everyone know when it happens. But right now, we're on the edge. You'll see what's going to happen. But I'm doing it. But I'm here. I'm not going to give up.
That's good. That's good. Never give up, man. How you doing, Terminus?
Hey, yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay, man. I'm just and yeah, I'm doing okay. I've been like I've been doing okay with my 3D modeling job, and I started getting paid on an hourly basis, and I'm starting to get the money rolling in and more, you know, get money rolling in more. Although,
it's good to hear.
Yeah, it is.
It would be nice to make them enough to like be able to support myself, but at this rate, I'm not so sure. Maybe but it is not nice. It is nice what I'm making so far for now. I'm like for this past month, I got a paid total of 2K. You know, almost a total of 2K.
Oh, that's good. That's a start, man.
Yep.
I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? And you just kind of like, you know, I'm not gonna say slowly grow your talent, but that's part of it too, right? You gain more experience, you gain more knowledge, and you can command, you know, a higher paycheck, which is, you know, it comes with time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just keep doing what I'm just keep doing what I'm doing, and just don't not sleep on my laurels, because I've made that mistake in the past, you know, a lot, and and got all lazy, and then got rusty and all.
Yeah, I think a lot of us kind of do that. We rest on our laurels at the time, and it's we're definitely getting to a point where we can't, right? Especially with the way the economy is and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly.
I don't have enough hours in the day now.
Oh
in a good way. In a good way. I mean, starting up the website and a comic book and everything. Yeah, I don't have enough hours.
I think one of the biggest killers of motivation is not getting enough sleep, and I know that's like a mighty issue.
Or watching Rings of Power.
Or watching Rings of Power. Yeah,
and/or puts me to sleep.
Well, did you say something? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I fell asleep real quick. Marksman, how you doing?
Hey guys.
I know. Yeah, Andor. Yeah. Talk some Andor and culture some shorts.
Yeah, culture 6-minute dailies. You do that, and then Andor, man, I'm out for like 24 hours.
The 6-minute power nap for Tox.
Yeah. 6-minute power nap.
Yeah. Like there's a slow burn, but at a certain point, the flame goes out. So if you don't toss something in there, it's like, what point? Like, how long am I going to keep sticking around? Because if you're not going to make it worth my time, I'm going to leave. And like you can start to see that's the excuse they try to use for Rings of Power. Hence why everyone says the same thing. The pacing is atrocious. It's slow. And with Andor now, it seems they're falling into the same hole. Like it is written tighter, at least. I will credit them that. But at the same time, it is still very slow.
Like I said, a lot of my issues with Andor is not the show itself, because I just haven't watched it to have issues with it. I just don't care about Star Wars anymore. It's like I've officially hit that point of apathy. I mean, they could go and do the greatest thing ever, and I just wouldn't care at this point.
No, it's the same. I've been looking through clips because I'm like been checked out. It's just really I share it with some guys in my Discord because a lot of them are writers, and they're like a lot of guys want to do like writing novels, short stories, whatever. And they love to compare this shit to see how bad it is. Like one of my buddies, I was telling about Rings of Power, and he's a huge Tolkien fan. Like he's huge in the lore and everything. And every time I tell him all the lore, all the stuff that they're going to do in the show or what they've done, he always tries to justify it, not because he's like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, is because he legitimately cannot believe anyone's that stupid of a writer. Like I told him, she survives a volcano, where he's like, well, she's far away, she's an elf, she's tougher. Then I posted the video, and then he goes, what the fuck is that? Who is supposed to survive that?
When she gets hit by the pyroclastic flow? Yeah.
Yeah, because he was thinking it's like Pompeii. Because what killed Pompeii, the reason why he had bodies, was they were at the edge of the island, far enough away that by the time the flow hit them, it wasn't like they got incinerated. The gas killed everybody. The heat,
people got incinerated, man. People did get incinerated. So
I'm saying they are, but it wasn't like if they were closer, there would have been nothing left. But the reason so much survived was the distance. So he's thinking, oh, it's like a Pompeii. And I'm like, yeah, no. Difference is Pompeii was far away. She's literally at the base. And he's like, yeah, there would be no remains, period. That would be scorched earth. Like not even trees, rubble should be left behind.
The thing that made me laugh.
But it looks cool.
The thing that made me laugh was when it's nighttime in that village. And correct me if I'm wrong, this whole place is flat at this point, right? It's not round yet.
It's supposed to be flat.
It's supposed to be flat. Yeah. And the elves and the humans are charging on their horses in daylight, broad daylight, and it's nighttime in the village.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
No, if the earth is flat, it's pretty much the same time of day, right?
Guy Ladriel is standing right next to everyone else, right? They're having the feast and talking to everybody. Then this amazing eruption happens, defying the laws of physics. Magic Cheeto dust goes everywhere, right?
And the humans survive.
Galadriel and the kid get separated from everybody else so badly that all walking to the same place, Galadriel and the kid have to stop overnight before getting there.
Well, as I said previously, it's like her surviving the pyroclastic flow. It's because plot.
Plot armor, baby. It's tough.
Yeah, I actually made this mention before. I said, like, if they would have just kept the one piece of lore and left her a mage, it at least deals with some of their inconsistencies. That's the irony of it. Like, beginning, her dealing with the snow troll, like, escorting up so lightly armored through the blizzard. Easy. Just she uses magic, creates a shield, then negates a lot of environmental hazards. All right. It explains a little bit there. She deals with the frost show. She vaporizes with a single magic spell. Okay, she's powerful. Then it's like, oh, pyroclastic floor. She creates a shield and negates it. Like it's you can still have that like a mage. Just like it's still stupid, but
just
at least
say it was
justifies to
so
some
hot.
degree.
It was so evil that it was cold. Even that, you're going through the rules in your show.
Like, it'd be easier. She says, "I sense dark magic in here." Like freaking, they did it with Gandalf when he saw the necromancer first time. He went there and he's like, "There was dark magic I can feel from the place." Like it's already established. You can feel the magic energy, and when it's tainted, you can feel the taint. So it'd been very easy. At least if they kept that tiny aspect, you still had your strong woman power. She still would have been insufferable because same actress, but at least. So plot-wise, for what they crafted, would have worked a little bit better, and they couldn't even see that tiny piece. Like that's how bad the writing is. And my buddy, every time I tell him this stuff, he just loses his shit because he's like, "Who the fuck is they hiring to write this? It is below elementary levels. They're failing at." That's why guys see all these justifications.
On FNT, I told Shad that he has like more world building and character development in one chapter of his book than 7 episodes of Rings of Power. And I'm not just saying that to kiss his ass, because I'm not. I'm being serious. That book is really good. I'm on chapter 5 now. He definitely does the whole show and don't tell, because there's a lot of things that happen where Dalen, the main character, he basically gets powers and he's like figuring them out. And he as he's traveling, he's experimenting and doing all these different things. So you get to see the character kind of figure things out, and that's what we're looking for, right? It's like the thing that's interesting about it. And I don't want to ruin it because it's a good show. It's a good book. You should go read it. But there's stuff in there that happens that I find very interesting with the character. Just go get the book. Shadow the Conqueror. It's really good by Shad Brooks. It's very, very enjoyable. It's way better than Rings of Power. And yeah,
it's a whole lot like Robert Jordan's Eye of the World and some Terry Goodkind stuff that's out there. So if you like those writers, I've read the book all the way through, and it has a lot of plot twists, and there's a lot of things going on, and very, very well written. I can tell you that. The world makes sense.
Yeah.
And in the things that you hear, the magic makes sense. The fight scenes make sense. Nobody's jumping off of a sword that weighs about 5 pounds that will be bent by any kind of weight put on it to kill a rock troll, right? Nobody's doing that kind of stupid stuff. It's really good.
For fantasy, it's very realistic, and it's a different kind of fantasy, right? It's not because it's kind of like I'm not gonna say steampunk fantasy. Because
it's good fantasy instead of not.
Well, what did Gary call like
it's not your traditional fantasy. It's not like Tolkien, right?
Yeah, I think Gary called it advanced fantasy. I think that's the category where it's like somewhat futuristic but still medieval. Like it's that really interesting blend of the two.
They have these things called light stones and dark stones, which they use to like power devices. But there's still magic in the world, and it's really interesting because like the world itself is like it's like in a gravity well or something like that. It's like I'm not gonna say it's like a disc or whatnot, but it's like it's flat, and if you fall off, you basically hit the gravity well, and you can basically travel through it and hit the ground again. It's interesting because he's talking about how like he looks up and he can basically see himself looking back at him. That's basically how the physics of the world works. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Thank you to Shad for actually making it an audiobook.
Yes, I've been listening to the audiobook. It's great. And I had to laugh because when it starts, it has this music from Shadowversity. I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
Did you see the show that Prime had that I really like, and I don't know if they're ever going to make another season of it, but it has that supermodel and the guy that played Legolas in it. I can't even remember the guy's name.
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom. It was called Carnival Row. Did you guys see that?
No, I haven't.
Ah,
I've heard of it.
Wait, was that Amazon or Netflix?
It was Amazon
Netflix.
Prime.
It was Amazon. Yeah, that's right. It
was Amazon Prime.
You're right.
And They did one season of it, and they haven't done anything since. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. I was just wondering if it was that kind of fantasy or not.
It's sort of, but that one I'd say would falls more steampunk.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Carnival Row.
Gotcha.
It's not your traditional like high fantasy like Tolkien, right? It's a different kind of fantasy, and like I said, it's worth checking out.
Well, this one was kind of steampunk, and it had like fairies and minotaurs and stuff like that in it. It was pretty cool.
So James Hurley says, I saw Werewolf by Night actually was decent. How the fuck is this decent? And we had to suffer through Disney Plus shows. That's another thing I'm just not interested in.
They probably just didn't care enough about it. So
Yeah,
they
it's
just kinda
sad.
let the writers do what they wanted.
Yeah,
So you had something. At least
I never read the
coherent.
comic book or anything like that, so I don't know anything about it. And I didn't even realize it was out, and I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. Mainly because fuck Disney.
Marvel's dead. It's
Yeah.
over.
Oh,
It's fine.
But no, it's like, hey, you spoke about world building. Because I just
Tox, are
started
you having a
restarting
stroke
rereading.
there?
Am I what?
Are you having a stroke there? Your eyes are actually kind of
Oh,
Right.
okay. So the camera's right in front of me, right? And the thing tracks my eyes, and I'm up looking over here at this side at the screen, and then so that makes my eyes go up and down.
Okay.
And then I go over here to look at this screen for the Twitter stuff, and then when I take a drink, it looks like I'm hitting myself.
I thought it was you muting yourself while Miss Flu was hitting you with the salami.
No. So this is, I'm going to try
No,
and
that
get
comes
this one
later.
together like this. This is, Comics tells me to shut up. She goes, Comics say, shut up, Tox.
Shut up, Tox.
So that's, I'm going to try and record some of those. So sorry. So but I can, if I do this, there we go. I freeze.
Those things are really cool. Yeah.
You lean back.
Well, it's tracking his face, so if he gets anywhere out of the tracker, then it's going to stop.
And I've got my glasses on. I'm not wearing, so it kind of gets out of the way. And
That's probably what's messing up the eyes. Is your glasses? Yeah.
Well, you've got to look right on with this stuff. Animaze is a great program for doing that kind of stuff. So. I tend to think that Reuben is an Animaze character and not real, and I tend to think that Reuben is a 4'2" redheaded female lesbian.
He's just throwing us all off, right?
He's
No.
throwing us all off.
No.
So
I am exactly the. I figured it out. I'm the largest person by volume of the Fellowship, and that's uncontested. that no one could beat that.
Battleship.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's very Rubenesque.
Exactly.
So-
It is very true.
Oh god.
Indeed. So Dresskeepy says, "Come on, man. The Mando is worth watching. It's a good series. It's okay, but I'm not. I'll be honest with you. Especially after season 2 and the book of blah blah blah.
Watch the EFAPs on it, and you'll change your mind on that.
Objectively, well, it feels also like Star Wars to an extent, but objectively, and you get some of that feeling of days long gone, but objectively, and that's from reading many people's breakdown of the show, like EFAP and also Raging Rhino, and it's not really a not a well written show. Really.
There are many hidden problems there.
There are a lot of problems with the show. I said it was mediocre from the start. I'm not impressed by it. If you like it, hey man, I'm not gonna kick you for liking it.
But like
Tox's website.
On that.
He's there we go.
But I don't care for it. There's a lot of things I just don't care about anymore, mainly because of how things have been ruined.
They burned the entire thing because it's one little gem, and even then, it's like objectively, you can argue Mando's probably more of a 5 or 6 on the scale, but it has that Star Wars feel, and on that feel alone, raise it for people, which like people feel it's more. Well, say it's like more of a 7 or an 8. So like that's the thing where the clash is.
I would say it's a 5. It is mostly competent. There's a lot of issues I have with the series. you know, it's just like I said, if you like the show, you know, I don't care, man. You're allowed to like things I don't like, and I'm allowed to not like things that you like.
Right.
The Mandalorian is like
John and Dave, they really had the chance to make a Luke more respectable, instead of just jangling keys, when he showed up in the end of season 2, I mean, I was like, okay, I'm just okay, just keep it up, and but then they went ahead and just fucked up his character again in Book of Beta Fett.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was pissed when Luke showed up.
Oh,
I legit was, and the reason why is because it's like now you're
they were trying to get
kill
you back like that.
Yeah.
After it's locked in, he gets destroyed.
It was patronizing.
Yes,
what
exactly.
It was.
I was so infuriated. I was flipping off my screen. I was like, "Fuck you, Disney." I was like, "Fuck you."
And they're doing it again with so many different franchises. We see the pattern, and we're not going to do it anymore.
She-Hulk is a perfectly good example of that.
But She-Hulk was different. She-Hulk was different for one important reason. They knew that they knew how it ended, and they ended that show saying "fuck you, YouTubers." Basically, all of you guys are
fuck you, YouTubers.
That's what they said.
That's my favorot thing. Is
they
when
care more about
Disney
Twitter
said
than
that to
actually
us,
writing
and
a
that was
show.
bad.
Not just that. There's plenty of people out there go. A lot of the critics love calling us incels. It's like, dude, a lot of us are married. Why are you calling us incels unless you're projecting? And
they are.
Yeah.
They're just trying to think of words that would like piss you off. But what they don't realize is the more crap they put out, the better.
Call me an incel all day long.
Yeah. Call me a chud. I don't even know what the fuck
this
that
month,
means.
I will have been married for 20 years.
Congratulations.
No, Comix. No, you're overthinking it. It's like online shit throwing. But it's basically like this. You use words like incel and whatever when you have the strong position. Because like I said, it's a cringe insult doesn't work. But it's basically why we have those words is like when you're throwing shit at somebody, there's this bottom tier word insults that don't work. But the thing is, when you're winning and dominating a guy, when you're shit talking them in a match, you start dropping those words because it says, I no longer have to pull out my freaking ace of sleeves or whatever. I can hit you with the lowest of low and still break you. And because they know you're hitting them with these most basic bitch cringe insults, it sets them off and they lose it even more completely. That's why those words is. But to actually try to open up with that as a real insult,
they don't have any answer, right? So they don't have a counter argument. It's like this dude with Bros, right? He comes out and he says, "Oh, you didn't make the movie for us. You did an entire promo." Saying that you didn't want white men and all this other stuff and things going to it. So don't get angry at us that
when we don't show up,
quote unquote, your people didn't show up to see your shitty film.
Yeah.
Right. We had nothing to do with it. But when they don't have an argument, they just go back to throwing insults.
Racist,
That's
homophobia, transphobia,
and
Nazi.
They have to keep going to the next one, the next one, the next one. And I've seen a couple of tweets here recently about how disrespectful the word Nazi has been. Just we're numb to that now, and how disrespectful that is to the 20, 30, 40 million people that were killed because of that. Right.
Yeah.
In about 90 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There, it's very disrespectful for that. People don't understand how many people died in China because of World War II. They don't understand how many Jews were killed because of World War II. How many people in Poland? How many families were torn apart? How many Russians were killed? That nobody understands that at this age, I guess.
What's up, gentlemen? 70s and
good evening.
Shadow, what's up?
I heard the show was just about to end, so I've joined.
Hey, before we get off of She-Hulk, let me say my 2 cents on this, guys. As a fan of what it's supposed to be based on, they said it was based on the sensational She-Hulk run. It's just proof of how retarded they are, because that source material would have fit their narrative just fine if they'd have done it. If they'd have done the story the way it was. The two big screw ups they made was they made her a Karen instead of liking being She-Hulk and never changing back. Right? That was the first screw up. The other screw up. Oh my God, man. Okay, I'm going to stop talking because I'm about to go.
No, Joe, let me add on
before we go to Marksman.
Give it your head.
70s Rocks fan has to go, so 70s, we're going to highlight you.
Right, highlight him.
And highlight right there.
No ticket.
Thanks for being on, joke? 70s. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No, the other thing I was going to say that they screwed up was the fourth wall break, which I hate to tell you, Deadpool fans, she did it first in the comic books, not Deadpool.
She did.
Yep.
The way it was used in the book was so much better. In the show, she's lecturing to us to tell us the story like we're a bunch of retards. Preaching down to us, right?
Yep.
From on high. Exactly. In the book, it was hilarious. I mean, it would have been perfect that they'd have blown all her clothes off except for her underwear and had her bitching at Kevin Feige. That would have been beautiful. It would have been amazing. They can't have fun with it. They got to preach to us.
It's supposed to be self-aware, cheeky dialogue. That's what a fourth wall break is.
It's supposed to be a parody of comic books, man. That's what it's supposed to be. And it just
this was some writer that had an agenda that decided to use this show to try and meme us. And they missed.
They memed themselves.
Well, that's the thing that's so funny is that somebody basically posted this thing. And it was like a dude that like pissed himself and everyone's laughing at him. And he's sitting, the next panel has him with his arms crossed. He's like, I'm in their heads. And basically they're trying to imply that's us. It's like, no, that's fucking Disney.
No, here's the thing, because I would
right now.
Yeah. But comics, let me say this though, because I want to go on a joke, because they had 3 fuck ups, and that's where even like Talk said, they're pushing the message because they are attacking YouTubers, but at the same time, you forget the second message they're pushing the show, which is they're pushing the feminist the ideal, like the new wave feminism, whatever the hell you want to call it, neo, fourth wave, neo.
No, they're not pushing feminism. They're pushing the
No, that's the thing. No, that's what I'm saying. That's where the fuck up is they're pushing it, but what they don't realize they're pushing is the actual reality for this wave of feminism they all have been following. It's like, oh, she's like, I'm going to put everything to career. All I care about is my career. But it's obvious the career isn't making her happy. She's like, I need to find self-validation myself. How do I find it? I need a man. Oh, he won't, he doesn't like before I am. When I am, I'm going to change how I look to nail the man. It's like how a lot of girls now do with the fucking face filters and everything. She does it, turning it to She-Hulk, the catfish, the guy. And as soon as he shows a little interest in her, he immediately takes the bait. It's like all of the tropes that have spawned, the negative tropes that have come out of the new wave feminism, whatever, you're seeing it in that show, and they've unintentionally trying to push the feminist message, push the actual reality of the feminist message. So that's why I say it's the third fuck up, because it wasn't intentional, but they actually exposed what it really is. Because you see all your women commenting on it.
It's basically what they're doing. They're fulfilling their own prophecy. You know, they're by example.
One thing I definitely think that they're gonna do, I swear the finale, the guy, the main villain is going to be an incel.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And Tox, I'm gonna back you out so I can bring in Father Miller.
Yes, get rid of him.
It's the plot of
Solo.
It's the plot of the Batman. The same thing. Hey guys.
Hey. So I just got home. Oh, good. I just got home. I sent comics. I had a benediction for a convent tonight, so I only can be on for a little bit because I have to go lock up the church.
All right, man. Fair enough. Well, thanks for joining me.
So a moment of silence for the death of John Kent, or at least his comic.
Silence. I was celebrating. Should I shut down the fireworks?
Whatever will we do that they canceled the John Kent comic book?
Well, they're rebooting it. I saw as The Adventures of Superman, whatever that's going to be. But I figured it's been 3 years since I bought a new off-the-shelf comic from Superman. I just don't care. The artwork sucks. The stories suck. I'd just rather spend the $3-4 on a comic from the 70s.
Probably less.
Hey,
if it's
what you
DC.
should do. Yeah, just buy back issues.
DC
Well,
back issues are like $1.50. Nothing.
I'm not going to buy new stuff. I mean, I just unloaded a bunch of comics recently, and I got rid of the entire Superman Rebirth series just because I didn't care for it. I mean, my oldest Superman comic outside of year one is probably from the late 80s. But our comic store is having their annual half-off sale coming up next week, so I'm excited.
So I'm curious, what did you not like about the Rebirth series for Superman? I didn't read it, so I couldn't tell you.
I mean, it's basically Lois Lane and Clark are married. It's having the kids. It's when John is a kid, too. So, I mean, it wasn't as obnoxious as it is now. But I'm just not a fan of the new art in the story.
Fair enough.
Oh, was that when Bendis took over? Was that
No.
I don't know the
after.
artist.
That was after.
Oh.
Yeah, Bendis. Okay, so they basically canceled that run. They canceled Peter Tomasi's Super Sons, which I heard was really good.
I've heard nothing but good things about this.
Yeah. And then Bendis took over Superman, and they screwed up Super Sons, and now John's gay. So
Hooray.
Not anymore. He's been canceled.
Well, it's always dumb.
Tox's
canceled
website.
a gay?
Busted
My
in here
God.
again. Tox's website's busted
Haters.
in the chat.
Yep. So over on the Odyssey side, Radicalized Ryan sent a $5 tip, or what they call them on there? Yeah, tips. $5 tip of an Odyssey coin emoji.
Nice.
Yes, very cool. Thank you, Ryan.
Nice.
James Hurley says, "Who's worse, Dan Slott or Vosh?" I'm actually going to go with Dan Slott because Dan
Slott's
Slott
pretty bad.
Yeah,
Vosh is
he's
a
actually
grift. A lot of it's fake, at least. Dan is more genuinely, that's how he is.
Dan Slott is part of the reason I stopped buying comics in 2015. So
yeah, he legit is a terrible person. Absolutely terrible person. He's gone after people on boards. He's filth.
Oh wait, didn't Disney do like a documentary? And then I remember they mentioned like it has Dan Slott. It starts off he's working, then you hear ding ding. He's like, "Ooh, a tweet!" And it pissed off every other worker because they're all basically saying it's because you don't get off Twitter. We've all had to kill ourselves pulling all nighters, 24-hour shifts to get this shit done because you put in last second. Like one guy admitted he had multiple times like he would break down crying because as soon as he learned I have to work with Dan Slott, I know I'm gonna have to pull a 24-hour work straight to get this shit done into a printer because he's going to hand it in literally the night before. And he's like, I've done it too many fucking times. Like, I don't want to do it again. It's like, I've had that happen multiple times.
If you don't know who Doug Ernst is, Dan Slott has been going after Doug Ernst for years. Captain Frugal, who's another YouTuber, also Dan Slott does not like him and has been trying to dox him for years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He's legit a terrible human being.
Yeah, he's very petty.
Yeah. Who is worse, Neil Cuckman or Brianna Wu?
As a Last of Us fan, I'd have to say Cuckman.
probably Neil because he had lasting effects on a beloved franchise.
Yeah, Brianna Wu is not relevant.
Yeah.
No matter how much she thinks she is, she's not relevant. So I'd have to
Especially
go.
him go to
Have you watched the trailer
freaking
for that
J.A.F.O
Last of Us
pictures.
show, by the way?
Yeah, it looked all right.
Yeah, this is what sucks. I got goosebumps at certain parts of it because the first show is so good, you know.
Don't take the bait.
But man, I hope that takes them like 2 or 3 years to finish the first game in the story. You know what I mean?
I'm not a fan of
stuff
Last
out
of
of
Us. I never played the game. My wife was the one who played it. She liked the first one a lot. I guess she liked the second one.
I still haven't finished it. I don't want to play as Big Mama Pump for 10 hours. Good Lord.
So yeah, I don't have feelings towards it. It looks okay. You know?
It's in my top 5. That game is in my top 5 video games ever. I love it. The
I
first
agree,
Last
mate.
of Us is fantastic.
First one was a classic.
Yep.
But Naughty Dog are dead to me now.
Yeah, they are.
I've watched walkthroughs. Like as a game itself, like gameplay wise, they didn't really interest me. But the story itself, like that for sure is undeniable. Was very well written, very well done. Like you, at the end of it, you said like you really cared for the characters and the struggle.
Yeah, you did.
Where like no one could doubt it. And he
character
just ran
evolution
that.
in a video game is a rare thing, and they had it in that game. It was pretty damn cool.
I have to say, probably my top favorite video game of all times is Mass Effect, like the trilogy.
I just bought that the other day. I'm going to do a playthrough of it.
2 is phenomenal. 2 is probably the best game out of the 3. The first one is really good because the gameplay isn't as good as 2, but the story is also phenomenal. Just the reveal of the Reapers is just it's jaw dropping.
The payoff from every build-up consistently through that series is amazing. Like Thane, I was crying multiple points during 2 and 3 over Thane's storyline because just how well done it is.
There is definitely some good parts to 3. 3 being the weakest out of all of them, mainly because they lost Casey Hudson, because this was Casey Hudson's baby, and so I don't think they pulled the ending off as well as they could. It definitely has some really good moments. I love the reveal of the Leviathan. Even that's a DLC. Honestly, the DLCs are really fucking good. For Mass
number
Effect.
2's DLCs, like I remember seeing the trailers, like when they did Overlord for the first time, where you meet David during the Cerberus experiments. Like that alone felt like the trailer for a different game, just because the way they did and built it.
What was all of those before BioWare got acquired, or did it was 3 after the acquisition?
It was with 3 because Casey Hudson left. I guess EA essentially bought them at that point, and of course Andromeda was a complete unmitigated disaster.
Right.
Yeah. 3 essentially because they bought it before or right after release, but essentially by the time 3 came out, that was the last game untouched before EUA. So they started having to follow the EA mandates, policies, all that stuff.
EA screwed up a lot of franchises over the decades.
Oh yeah.
Mass Effect character development was exceptional, and I love those games too. Comics and the depth of the characters, their arcs, and the fantastic voice acting.
The one thing, I hate reboots, but I'll be honest with you, the one game that is getting rebooted that I'm kind of excited for is Dead Space, because it looks really good. Obviously, they're sticking to the story, the same story.
Who's doing it though?
I don't know. I have to look. The thing I liked about it is that they don't have Isaac Clarke as the silent protagonist like they did in the first one. So there's it looks good. It looks good. Dead Space is definitely a game I think that'd be kind of hard to fuck up, but you obviously can.
You can mess up anything. That's for sure. Yeah.
What system is it coming out on?
Probably current gen console would be my guess.
It's only current gen. I don't think it's going to be on
PS5, Windows, Xbox.
I don't have current gen console at the moment.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, that's the thing about
PC.
I've got a 5. Yeah.
It's going to be PC. It's PC, PS5, Xbox X, Xbox Series 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that might kill it then. Shit.
I'm
that's
thinking
the
about
issue.
getting the next series. I don't know.
Well, that's the issue right there. Series X, PlayStation 5. Because the thing is, for the units sold, is the reason why a lot of companies are still doing the crossplay for what they're still calling previous gen. I still call Xbox One and PlayStation 4 current because the next gen still hasn't overtaken the market. I think in total they have somewhere about 30 million units combined sold, and if you take previous gen, the fucking Xbox One and PlayStation 4, you're talking about over 100 million units that were sold during the lifetime.
I'm trying to get a PS5, but I just can't find them anywhere, and I just kind of giving up at this point.
So if a company goes to the next gen, to the newest console, you're cutting out more than 90% of your market.
Yeah, they're releasing on both consoles still, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them still do cross.
I tell you, one of the features I like about that Xbox, or excuse me, the PS5, is I've got my PS4 in the living room, and when I want to play on the big TV, I play in there, and you can do it. You can play with your PS5 remotely through it. So I'm actually playing my PS5 with my PS4. It's pretty neat.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Is they're hard to get, and
yeah.
I heard something about PlayStation backing away in Japan. Sony's pulling. It's like they're almost
Sony's pulling out of
abandoning it.
Japan completely. Yes,
That's
they've
crazy.
abandoned their Sony headquarters.
And I am concerned about Sony going woke and introducing woke elements to some of their games. Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely
concerned you'll never be able to get a PS5.
very scared about what they're going to do to the new God of War Ragnarok, and whether they're going to mess up, which is a great story about a guy from the last one of them. It's the guy and his son. Well, are they going to really screw that up? What are they going to do to that?
It's definitely a concern, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Weren't they trying to refigure the PS5? I'm sorry. Weren't they trying to refigure it because of some chip shortage or something?
Yeah, the chip shortage is what stopped all production on both consoles. Is the chips they just can't get them.
Weren't they trying to refigure it to use something else?
Probably not.
I've heard. I don't know if they made any progress though. I have heard nothing about any progress made.
That's the last I had heard about.
I'm not sure how they'd be able to pull that off though.
But it's like, as I said, until they can actually get the numbers out, anyone who goes solely PlayStation 5 or Series X, you are cutting out almost 90% of your current market.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Rogue Attraction says they changed the chips.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll see a ramp up in productions in the coming months. But
well,
right
I
now,
think I've been getting notifications
out.
from GameSpot that they've been getting PS5s in. I haven't been bothered to go out and try and get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of feel like I have better things to spend my money on at the moment.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going full PC pretty much.
That's what I'm at right now.
I've always had a game. I've always built my own gaming PCs, but I'm going to go full PC.
Especially with Sony games coming to PC now, I don't need a PS5 anymore.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? That's
well, because they abandoned the Japanese market, and so to fill the gap, a lot of them been going to Xbox, but most of them been going to PC now because they weren't as big PC gamers. But now with Sony, they're like, well, your stuff is shit. A lot of developers don't want to touch you no more because of all the regulations, the rules. Because there's a lot of creative pride over there in Japan. Because it's like it's like this is my IP. You're fucking with. How dare you? So a lot of them are saying no, and said, we can just do PC where it's all under our control, our rules, and go through all these different marketplaces here, and that's what they're doing.
Father, are you into video games at all?
PC. No, too many buttons. The only one I have, the only thing I have is the retro Nintendo 64 mini console.
That's
what I grew up with. The only problem is you don't get to save some of the games like you used to, and with Super Mario Brothers, they don't have the up down, A B, start, whatever the cheat code was.
Yeah, the cheat code.
Do a barrel roll.
Okay, I miss cheat codes in video games.
I've been revisiting a lot of my older stuff. I got a PS2 for my birthday from Game Exchange, and I've been goofing around with Stuntman and a bunch of games that I used to play on that thing. Yeah,
I really want to find a TurboGrafx 16.
Oh yeah, wow.
Right.
Yeah,
nice.
Hey, one of my favorite games, strategy games, is Military Madness. That's a fun game. I know they re-released it for the most part and updated it, but there's nothing like that classic, 64-bit. Was it 64-bit? No, sorry, not 64.
16-bit.
16-bit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Civilization used to be? That was the game I used to play on the PC. Sid Meier's Civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the old days.
What, 5 or 6 reboots of it now? I think did they come out with the Civilization 6 yet?
I think they did.
They did.
I think they did. Yes.
Yeah, I think I have Civ 5 on my.
Ironically, as we're reaching the end of our own Western civilization, you should just get Sid Meier to do a new one.
It's okay. I'm sure something better will replace it.
Right?
Yeah. Sid Meier's Western Civilization 7, the reboot.
Yeah. We're just getting upgraded to 64-bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nintendo 64. I remember that system.
Yeah, one of my favorite strategy series was always the Westwood Studios Command and Conquer series.
Oh yeah,
and I leaned towards that over like Warcraft or StarCraft. That was my jam. And when EA took over, some of the stuff that they came out with was just nuts after that.
EA really does ruin things.
They do.
They do. Awful company.
One of the things I learned, part reason that's really killed so many studios under EA is they have I forget what they call it, but their policy essentially is it's a one-way policy where every studio has to conform to build all their games the same way. So, like for example, when they put in, we're using Frostbite. Everyone uses Frostbite. Like you had, I know BioWare that screwed them over a lot too. They were like,
they had to switch over for Andromeda to use Frostbite.
Yeah,
because Frostbite was not meant for third person.
It's not even meant for RPG mode. It's strictly a first-person shooter mode. So they're like, do you want us to convert a first-person shooter engine that was custom made for a first-person shooter for an RPG? It's like, how the hell are we supposed to do that? But every studio had to now switch. And you only have and the only people who knew Frostbite are the DICE guys who built it.
Right.
And there's only so many of them. So guess what? Nobody knows how to make this thing work. And they have a lot of policies like that.
It's funny because if you watch like the behind the scenes stuff about the making of Andromeda, they basically, I want to say had like, because they front loaded so much time into dealing with Frostbite, the mechanics and everything. I want to say they had to crap out a story in like 6 months.
Isn't that the one that they had issues with, like the
face animation?
The face, the face animation matching.
Yeah, my face is tired.
That's right.
Kind of like
Night, fellas.
you had them doing a talk.
Gotta go. Yeah, Royal Fox just let me know that The Walking Dead started tonight, and it's their last. It's their last season, and she is a diehard fan. The Royal Fox has needs. I gotta go.
See you tomorrow, buddy. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow for Hammer Horror. See you, man.
Yes.
Take care, man. See ya.
Yep.
No ticket.
No ticket.
So I'm going to have to get going too, but I got to show this since they mentioned Hammer Horrors.
What do you got? Too much glare.
Hammer.
Oh, Hammer
Hammer Films. All right.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
20 movie set.
Oh, nice.
So, all in one place.
Yep.
Has it got the Quatermass movies on it?
I really like the classic horror films. Those are great.
Has it got the Quatermasses on it? Any of them? Might have one or two of them, yeah.
I don't know. It has,
it's possibly just the monster stuff, yeah.
No, it's basically like the Revenge of Frankenstein, The Curse of Mummy's Tomb, Pirates of Blood River, Terror of the Tongs. Never take candy from a stranger. That should be interesting.
Nice.
Lust for a Vampire is a good one. Lust from a Vampire.
So I got to head out. I got to head over, watch the church. We had a meeting over there too. So, and I got a teacher institute tomorrow, so I need to get turned in.
Well, thank you for joining us, Father Miller. Take care.
Later.
Take me out the big screen, please.
Later, Father Miller.
I don't want to be on the big screen. Thank you. Oh. Okay. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.
On that note, I also need to bounce. I have a test I need to study for, and I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, well, that'd be for tests.
Lord,
You just
everyone's leaving. It's fine.
Just wing it.
Fuck. Exactly.
That's going to be me all night.
Settings for nerds.
Yes, it is. Sadly.
So, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter and on YouTube now. We have a channel called the Legion of Memers. We actually did our first live stream yesterday, which was a total success. That 70s rock fan, I saw you were in the chat.
I was in the chat, yes, sir.
And Reuben, you were there too, which is, I really, really do appreciate all you being there and the support. We also have a Twitter now as well. I have set up an Odyssey, Rumble, and Twitch as well. So we're going to get things going in the background. So between me working and the studying and all this, I've been doing it. So hopefully everything goes well. If you guys enjoy our content, come over, like, share, subscribe, share your support. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you, sir. And thank you for the memes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those glorious memes.
Memes are good.
All right, man. Well, take care. And Lonnie has joined us. How you doing, Lonnie?
I'm good. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good. Yeah, I too will probably be leaving here in about 30 minutes. I have to be at work early in the morning, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so, but I did
How dare you?
Oh, my favorite girl. Yes.
She's so inspirational.
Yeah.
What's funny is they don't show the man that does it better. I don't know if you heard about him.
What? Yeah. Yeah. Really? There's a guy?
There's a 16-year-old guy, a kid. It was funny because I forgot there was a conference where they like put her up on everything. And immediately after she's done speaking, a guy was brought in, a 16-year-old kid, who runs a foundation where they have tugboats with these special nets that go around certain parts of the ocean collecting plastic.
I saw him on Rogan's show about 2 years ago. Yeah,
they had him on the same conference as Greta, and he came up afterwards. Here's Greta yelling fire, doesn't say nothing. Here's a guy saying, here I am with a solution trying to get shit done.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's what he was. Didn't have much good luck with it, I think, the first time out, but they went back and reworked a couple of things, and I think they I haven't heard anything about it since then, but yeah, that was interesting. And that sounds just exactly like them. They have no plan for getting around it. Just throwing
stuff at the wall.
That's not
basically,
communism.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And they're not even looking at the effects of it. You know, look at what happened with some of all those EVs that were flooded, and now firefighters are having to deal with some of those bursting into flames.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, the electrical vehicles. Yeah, down in
Mm-hmm.
Ian. Yeah, I can imagine. I
Yeah, the salt water just screwed up the batteries, so the batteries are just imploding left and right. And
they're just having to deal with them, and they can't get near them.
That's funny.
Because
really funny,
lithium reacts to water.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It's
Kind of a weird coincidence, really.
Pyrophoric effect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then what they're telling people that they come out with a Hummer that takes 4 days to charge.
Yeah, something like that.
Are you serious?
Or you're the governor. Or you're the governor of California that immediately tells everybody you can't buy an internal combustion engine car after 2030. But 3 days later, he comes out and goes, "Nobody plug your cars in because it's overloading the grid."
I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, "Yeah."
You mean the same governor that slept with his campaign manager's wife? That governor of California?
That governor, yeah. And didn't follow the rules about staying home, and all that.
Kept his winery up north open.
Governor Newsom, that governor?
That governor.
That governor.
That guy that's so delusional. He thinks he's gaining point. He's helping the Democrats in Florida when he comes to campaign here, and it's like, yeah, you're just building the point leads.
I wish you people would stop criticizing your overlords, your feudal overlords.
Your feudal overlords.
They're just doing their best.
They're just doing their best for them.
Right.
I mean, for us.
But the ladies on The View think he's so handsome.
I know. He's so dreamy, said Sonny. How's it going, Darius? What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up?
Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right.
Hey, brother.
Pretty all right? Just pretty all right?
Well, I know I haven't been around much lately, but it was necessary because
hey, man, it's all good. You got a life. I understand.
Are you sure? About ballots. Yeah, all that stuff that I've been saying for like a year that I needed to do and I wasn't getting it done. I realized I had to go and do it. So.
Oh yeah. Doing is like I'm not gonna say half the battle, right? It's getting the motivation to do it. Is half the battle.
and I have to concentrate. So I've gotten more done in like the last month than the year before that. So
dude, that's fantastic.
Yeah, well, thank you. So now I feel more comfortable. Like, let me watch my beloved live streams again. A little bit at a time, not all at once.
I do hope you're not busy tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, no. I still honored my commitments to you and Slasher.
It's not so much a commitment. No, we just want you there. We need you there. You don't have to
I'm not afraid of commitment.
Anyway.
I've been committed before.
I need like a clip for when somebody says something kind of vaguely gay.
What do you mean?
What the fuck? Oh my god, the cock! There's that clip from Community where Senior Chang is like, "Huh, gay."
Yeah,
that one, would be perfect. I was thinking the freaking Rings of Power clip.
Give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
That's so good.
Give it to me raw.
James Hurley, thoughts on Whale Simone saying that Witchblade comic from the 90s and 20s objectified women? Okay, my thoughts on that is that Gail Simone is looking for relevance again because she...
did she ever have it?
Okay, she did. She
was a good writer for once.
She actually got it because she Me Too'd Ron Mars before there was a Me Too movement. Basically, he said that women in comic books were basically being used nothing more than as plot devices to further the story of a male character.
Oh, fridging.
Yeah, fridging. She's the one who came up with fridging.
Yes, she did. I've seen her website.
Yeah,
like 1998 HTML.
I thought it meant she was going to the fridge every hour for a snack.
It's the
back of me.
If you look at Gail, you would think that. But yeah, I think it's that same kind of thing where she's trying to find relevance, and I don't think anyone's going to give a shit.
We should probably talk about the male gaze because Witchblade has attractive female hero who's often in very little clothing. But then the thing is, if she wants to do it, then it's empowering, right? And she's owning her sexuality.
Well, okay, so here's the thing that's the double standard. When a female writer does it, it's empowering. When a male does it, it's because of the male gaze. That's the issue.
Right.
It's double standard.
Yep.
So.
But they're defining someone's gender when they say it's the male gaze. How do they know? I could identify as a woman and be gazing at them.
Yeah, you could be a lesbian.
Yeah, it could be a lesbian.
I'm amazed
gaze.
more people don't use the lesbian defense. It's like, dude, lesbians like hot women
That's
too.
right.
Like, are you
It's
homophobic?
It's like when you go for a job interview.
Gay men like hot women too. Like what?
Everyone loves boobs.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like if you go for a job interview and they say, "No, sorry, we're not hiring men." You say, "What do you mean, men? I identify as a woman." What are they going to say to you?
Yeah,
you're hired.
Yeah. That's all they can say. They're not going to contradict
just remember, at any point in time, you get in trouble at work for whatever reason. All you have to do is accuse the other person of being a transphobe because you identify as being non-binary.
Right.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
That feels wrong.
It's true. It's true.
70s, could you say something? Just say anything. Everyone
Could I
listen
say
to his
something?
voice. Yeah,
Or
go right
anything?
ahead. Say that the greatest band of all time is.
The greatest band of all time is the Bay City Rollers.
Now, listen to this voice.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Same person. They are the exact same person.
I haven't actually seen that 70s rock fan and during the fourth in the
Not
same
in the
room
same,
before, so.
same
We've
time. have
never
you?
been in the same forest
Never.
together, and that's true.
Oh, that's true.
But he is taller than me, though, so that's
They have taken
kinda
down
looks like
the
the puppet.
same quote-unquote trees. But
I made a
that's
little
different
video
story.
mashing up some of those phrases into a tune, and just for fun. Just
Gotta do that.
it's on my channel if anyone wants to watch it.
S-A-T-U-R.
YouTube.com.
It's called "Give Me That Ring of Power."
So Darth Scipio says, speaking of Simone, whatever happened to Anita Cardassian?
Saints Row.
She stopped being relevant, right? I mean,
No,
Yeah,
she
pretty much.
came
hit the
back
wall?
on Saints Row. She was involved in the new Saints Row
Really?
remake.
Oh,
Yes, and
God,
that's
that's
what
why
came
it's
out.
so
But
bad.
she
but
was
nobody
working
nobody
at-
talks about her anymore. She doesn't.
It's so bad.
Well, she still has a few friends in the industry. So this is what it seems like from what I've seen from some of the Fallout when it came out. They learned she was involved. Is she still has a few friends scattered about that are trying to get her work. But as a lot of these places, even the one studios that are going full woke, like the Saints Row studio fully embraces it now. A lot of the people there believe it. They know if they mention her name, they're going to catch a lot of flack on there. And it's also going to be really bad. And the company's also, even a lot of the big major corporations, because they just know she's bad on the market share. So a lot of them don't want to hear her name. So they know they can't have it come out there. So they're hiding it, but they're still moving her around behind the scenes. So she still has a little bit of relevance, but it is quickly fading. Like she is like doing everything she can to stay in the industry, but she's
I'm waiting for her next complaint to make the rounds, but overall, I don't think she's relevant. She's basically her time is over at this point.
Oh yeah, it's like watching
15 minutes comes and goes real quick.
Yeah. One thing I thought was kind of interesting is that I can't remember the woman that was in charge of it or who was kind of like the runner. It's like, what do you call someone who's in charge of a video game? Not the showrunner.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry.
Head developer?
Yeah.
The director, I think.
I don't know if she's the director, but she had a major influence or something like that. But for the Vampire the Masquerade game, which was supposed to be out by now, which I guess they're in redevelopment again because she left. And apparently this game was going to be like super woke. And I don't know if they're doing damage control and fixing it now, but
it sounds like from what I heard was they went woke, purged a good chunk of the upper management so they can wokeify it. Thing is, a lot of people they're bringing in didn't have the experience to handle it. And of course, with the way Masquerade is set up, there's a lot of things they found problematic. So they're like, we have to change this. If we change it, it breaks the game. So we got to do this to fix it. It became a mess. Some people burnt out, left. Then they tried to unwokeify it, brought more people in, and they said, fuck this. I don't want to deal with this no more. And they bailed out. So at this point, it's literally a burning ship. And I don't know who the hell's involved in it. They could be woke, non-woke. All I know is it's literally a death trap of a development because of how much they've utterly screwed the game.
It's a development hell.
What the
Well,
truly, it is truly development hell.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Well, here's the thing. So I actually, a number of years ago, 5th edition Vampire came out, and oh my god, they wokeified that shit too. I mean, it's like back in the 90s when it came out. I mean, it was just like the shit, right? Because it's like, what if you're basically playing a monster? Now it's like, okay, we're gonna have these 3 cards: red, yellow, green. If everything's fine, just hold up the green card. When we start getting to uncomfortable territory, hold up the yellow card. And if it's a hard stop, hold up the red card. That is not how Vampire should be played. If you can't handle, if you do not have the emotional, mental maturity or stability to understand that basically you are a creature of the night that goes around feeding on people, you are not a nice person, don't play the fucking game.
Yeah, they violate by their nature.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I was watching Count Dankula. He did an old stream with a couple of YouTubers where they were LARPing as Nazi vampires hunting communist werewolves in Vampire the Masquerade.
Yo, that sounds metal as fuck. I got
I loved it.
I want that.
Yeah,
because that's what it is. It's like you're playing a monster, so they're like, "Let's go all in on it. We're Nazis now, hunting communists." It was hilarious.
I mean,
that is hilarious.
That now,
but it's unfortunately so. The one of the NPCs that they came up with was Rudy. Rudy, if you're not familiar with the clans, he's Clan Gangrel, which is basically they are more tied to the beast, and so. Anyway, I'm not going to go and explain it, but the thing is that he's basically a black dude who's gay, Muslim, fighting for gender rights. It's like...
and his name is Rudy.
Rudy. God. It's like, wow. Way to go. Way to go down the list of checking all the boxes. And the funny thing is, I can legit see, like, if you set Vampire in modern times right now, basically the Bruja using the SJW movement, and then basically them going and embracing all these vampires of these SJWs, and then suddenly their clan getting overrun by these people. Like, that would be interesting. Okay, so you have like all these wannabe losers wanting to fight the power and the patriarchy of the oh god, the Camarilla. There we go. I totally blanked on it. It's just like that would be so fucking hilarious. You know, as an in-game thing.
So basically, KJP is a vampire. Is that what you're saying?
KJP.
What is her name? Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Corinne Jean-Pierre. No, she's an idiot.
She's not that smart, Comics. She's not that smart.
True.
Idiot's putting it a bit strongly. She's worse than that.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian actually has a really good, easy summation of Gangrel. Ferals, when they lose their shit, they gain animal features. Yes, that is a good way of summing up the Gangrel. Yeah. But yeah, so Yeah, I could. There's a lot of things that have. It's like should this be out by now? Oh, it's not. Oh well.
It actually is kind of because I put in a link for this trailer. Because it's funny you mentioned like that's been development hell. There's this guy I've been following called 2 Stars, a YouTube channel. In 1 year, he's been working on developing this game. He just dropped the trailer for the release date. Comes out in December. And this is a single guy working on his own. And this game's already like in the top 50 most wishlist games on Steam currently. I just want to know if you can just play it just to look like, just because it's one of the reasons why I always say people, it's like, yeah, the gaming industry can always go like, can be woke, but can go woke, but it'll never be woke. Because I'm like, yeah, the upper echelons, AAAs, maybe whatever, they may decide to run that path, but the bulk of the industry are all like mid-level indie developers like here, which carry everything up. So in the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you can take out the top. Everyone else has options to go away because it's the most hyper-competitive industry there is. And literally the whole concept is you're on an island, you have a train, you drive around the island, and there's a demon spider train like Thomas the Tank Engine from hell going around eating people trying to kill you. And you have to kill him to get off the island.
That's pretty
That's
metal.
the whole plot. It's just you just on this train driving around trying to upgrade it, find some weapons, and then when you need be, blow the whistle so he can come find you and try to kill him.
Demon train.
Yeah, it's called Choo Choo Charles. And the guy built it in 1 year. He announced it last October, and it's coming out this December. It was actually going to release in August, but after some testing, because he expanded the game a bit more, because he had a lot of development lore on Twitch where he was showing him actually building it, so you get to watch him work on it. And he decided, all right, I'm going to actually expand, put some new features. He added a cult, made of an actual story to somewhat follow, like, what the hell happened on the island. Tried it out in August. Said, all right, I need to do a bit more polishing. Going to push it back, pushed it to September. Now I have all of it grounded. I know it needs to be worked on. Final bug fixes, everything. Final dates now going to be in December to make sure I have everything covered.
What platform?
And boom, 1 year, one guy.
Is he cross-platforming it, or is it?
PC only right now. He wants the cross-platform, but you have to actually, get permission with the other studios. So he is talking with them.
Right, you can do a build for a platform, but yeah, in order to actually publish, you need approval.
Yeah, so he's hoping the success from this, because it's already, even if only half the people who wish to buy it, that's already going to be a huge success, and it will probably be enough where he can go to Microsoft and Sony and say, hey, look at my game here. I want to port it over. I know how to port it over. I just need your permission, got to get access to your software, and we can do it, and boom. We'll also get on Xbox and PlayStation.
So Brian says his favorite vampire clans are Gargoyles, Nosferatu, and Gangrel. I see a pattern there. All of them are not very attractive. Gargoyles and Nosferatu basically have a 0 appearance. And for the most part, Gangrel, if they frenzy too many times, they end up looking, bestial. My favorites are Tremere, Malkavian, and Simacy. And Lazumbra. I like the Sabbat clans. So
yeah, I've always wanted to understand about vampire lore and understand that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I never got into vampire, but I probably should have.
Well, the whole idea, the fact that
it's fun.
It's just the way it is. Like the vampire, why does he choose who he chooses based upon what?
Well, the thing I love the fluff behind it, the lore.
Right.
Yeah. It's interesting. The first vampire being Cain is pretty sweet. It's pretty neat. They put a lot of thought into it. Let me get some more of these comments here that I have. On the Odyssey side, the Odyssey team has donated 5 Odyssey dollars.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Also on the Odyssey side, Toxic Manflu for $5. Who's better looking, Comix Division or Toxic Manflu? Sir, we're both butt ugly.
You've got a radio face?
Yes, I cannot deny. I can't fight that one. You're right.
Yes. I got a face for radio.
The worst part of waking up is seeing me in the mirror. Yeah.
Monkeypox will do that to you, Toxic.
James Hurley for nothing. It's just a chat. Whale Simone was on Twitter saying she had best run of Batgirl and Birds of Prey. That's incorrect. Chuck Dixon had the best run, not Whale. I suck at comics, Simone. Yeah, she does. She's awful. She's completely awful. Yeah, and that's weird that she's taking credit for Chuck Dix and shit. Anyway, on the Odyssey side, Racklass Ryan for another $5 basically sends a Odyssey token emoji, basically shooting through the sky. It's pretty neat. Odyssey is the best.
I have to give props to the Odyssey support team. I posted something about when you're using the app, how easy it is to accidentally ban somebody you're trying to reply to, and like within 20 minutes they replied back to me, and I'm like, wow, that's just impressive,
It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. 20th anniversary edition is really fucking good. Another clan, which is one of my favorites, is the Cappadocian, which are supposed to be dead by modern times. But yeah, that would be pretty cool to do some like one-off shit with that.
Imagine Ryan playing that. Oh my God. I already know the directions he'll start taking. He's going to be going like the Fjord clan member purist.
Well, it's not like it's a fast food role-playing game. And Ryan would go nuts because every time he'd, not get his food, go into berserker mode.
Oh God, yeah. He anytime somebody gets his blood order wrong, he flies into a frenzy. Dark Skippy says, "Well, Comix Division is a hobbit and toxic man flu is a virus, so I call it a tie of ugliness."
That's right.
Damn, bro.
Damn.
Yes.
No love.
No, he's just having fun.
I know.
I mean, you look at the Harfoots, you're going to see where it all comes from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Comics is net
because
diverse, though.
their heart's in their foot, or is that what I heard?
Well, if their hearts are as big as their feet, they should go see a doctor.
Yeah.
Sounds terminal.
It's true. Very true.
Sounds terminal.
Sounds terminal. Yeah.
Oh, that's that whole Rings of Power thing was really cool.
I'm just afraid to play it. I've got Amazon Prime. I could, but
don't. Seriously.
Yeah, that's
okay. The last episode.
If you made it this far, don't do it.
Don't do it alone.
The last episode was an hour and 8 minutes just so they can change the Southlands to Mordor. Other than that, nothing happened.
In the last 2 seconds of the whole thing.
Yeah.
They changed the font. Yeah, here's a different font.
And magically, all the maps updated, right?
That was so.
I need you to find font Magic Evil, and we'll use that one.
Magic.
The Black Speech of Mordor is now called the Speech of Color.
Speech of the BIPOC speech.
Wow.
That's the bi-curious, non-cisgender speech of Mordor. Thank you.
The intersectional speech.
Oh, hey, have any of you seen the Rings of Pronoun by Flash Gits? Just fun of that?
Yes, I have.
Somebody passed that around. I have not had an opportunity to watch it yet.
I would like to see that.
I think you can play it here if you want to. Like Flash is like care, like other people restream it. They're really chill guys. It's so funny because it's basically him describing the rings, but all the rings are pronouns. It's like a short one, like 2 minutes. It's hysterical. I know Gary played on the streams, but yeah, you need to see it.
Did you guys see the CD Projekt Red announcement with about ESG?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Oh no.
They're embracing ESG. They're going to use it to get more financing and stuff.
Oh Jesus! Oh, they're dead to me now.
Oh, they're gone.
Who's this now? Who said this?
CD Projekt.
CD Projekt Red.
I had a horrible feeling they would go that direction.
Guess what? They're not going to get my help.
Well, they already have
the funny thing about it is they're talking about all these things that they did with their games, like in Cyberpunk dehumanization. I was like, you didn't do shit. That was all, Mike Pondsmith and all the other people who basically worked on, the cyberpunk genre. It's like you guys didn't come up with that. Those themes of dehumanization, oppression were already fucking there.
I think William Burroughs would like a word with them.
Yeah, no, all they've done is adapt others people's work overall. I really think CD Projekt Red, they're known for their adaptations, not known for their actual, like, hey, here's an IP we created. Yeah. That's the one thing. And the problem is them going ESG, how they got mad with the whole, especially Cyberpunk, the whole, hey, you're doing this to defend trans people, you're doing this to insult gay people, whatever. Well, now with them doing the ESG score thing, guess what? Those people they were able to say to fuck off to these various degrees, they now actually have to listen to those people.
Sucks to be them, I guess.
Well, this is the issue that we're kind of running into with corporations these days, right? Anyone who's getting financing by a investment firm have to abide by ESG. So I don't think that this is something that they're embracing as much as it's probably being forced upon them.
Right. Well, also, just so you know, I saw that story. I should have marked it and brought it over here. But there are people starting anti-ESG investment.
Oh, I heard of that.
Yeah, and it's like it was very heartening when I heard that because it's like, yeah, for a long time I was kind of worried there wasn't going to be any pushback on this, but apparently there is more than meets the eye, for lack of a better term. But it's happening. But it's that's where you kind of like gotta sit down and go, yeah, I gotta make sure you pay attention to who's doing it, so you know who you want to reach out to for when it's feasible to do business with them. So just something to think about.
I love this idea that, sorry, I had to interrupt, that Brian's doing. He's basically saying what clan people would be. So he says, OG Star Wars girl would be a Toreador. Anna would be a Toreador. Jeremy would definitely be a Ventru, I think. Gary would be a Bruja. Man, Drunk 3PO Salubri? I don't know, man. I don't know.
There's 12 clans, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Unless you're in World of Tanks, in which case there's 1,000,006.
I don't know. That's a good. I'm not sure.
Actually, I just remembered because we were talking about Sea Red Red. A good chunk of their staff, I know, because of the whole fiasco, especially since with the shareholders getting a bigger say in everything, did leave the studio and they found the new one. I think, was it Wolf's Head or something? I know it's Wolf's in the name, and they have a game in development. It's coming out.
That's right. A lot of them left. Yeah.
Damn, dude! Off the top of his head, 13 clans and 30 bloodlines. Damn.
The thing about this ESG in games is if a lot of these games companies, I mean, many of them are already there, but if you're somebody like CD Projekt Red, you're working on a new Witcher game, which they are working on several. That's going to take 3 or 4 years at least to be in any position to release that. By that time, the ESG wave and all this wokeness might have been burnt to the ground. We hope it might have been. We hope it might be. If it is, they are going to be so caught out by that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's going to feel dated as fuck.
Yes.
PayPal. And that'll kill it right off the bat.
I mean, that will kill it straight away. Yeah.
PayPal got called out.
Oh yeah, they deserve to get called out. They deserve to get put out of business.
Oh yeah, what they're doing is fucked up. Businesses should not be able to fine people because they indulged in misinformation. That is fucked up. That
well, I mean, it also brings the next question.
No, they fixed that. You didn't hear it. They fixed it.
Oh yeah, they fixed it. All right.
Information. It's
just an accident.
They get you for it.
Whatever. Donkeys will fly out of my butt.
Those documents are scoured by dozens of lawyers for weeks or months before they go out. There's no way that was an accident.
I agree.
Yeah, but no, it's the ploy that they did where they're like, all right, we took off. We will not get you for misinformation. What they forget to mention was it was 2 clauses: misinformation and whatever PayPal declares is hate speach. So they dropped the first. They just dropped misinformation. Hate speech is still on the board though. And everyone missed that.
And it didn't matter what platform it was on, or was
right. Exactly, just like Patreon did a few years ago.
You guys need to stop criticizing your corporate feudal overlords.
Yeah, we went over this already earlier in the stream.
Yes, exactly.
So, does that mean PayPal is investigating all of its clients and everything they do?
I am a party official overlord.
Hang on, one at a time. People having a hard time hearing.
Darius. Go, Darius.
Oh, yeah. So
and that means nobody speaks.
PayPal is investigating all of its clients and everything they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't know to find them for the misinformation in the first place. Right? I mean, how do they know
something like that?
What you've done on YouTube?
Well, what they would do is they'll probably, I hate to say this.
So, do you remember a while back, I don't know, about a year or so, they started asking for your phone number for everything?
Yes.
And then they started making sure it was your cell phone number. So they're tracking you through your IEMI number on your devices.
That's right.
And you don't VPN does not work anymore. Forget it.
Well, it doesn't do anything. No,
It doesn't do anything now. They know where you are. They know who you are. They can triangulate based on your IEMI number where you are. The reason they don't have the batteries in the phones is because you can't turn them off then. And Apple will, and says so in their agreements and things that we all just click through when we sign up, that they will give your location data to other devices that they have around and use that as a mesh network. And the most recent iPhone does not have it has a slot for a SIM card, but it will not take one. It actually has 2 software SIM card slots, and you have to put in your SIM card number in one of those 2. So that's the next step of telling you who your provider can be. So I'm very serious about this part. If you own an iPhone, you are part of the problem. You are giving them money to march us down the road of servitude. And I suggest that you get rid of that iPhone as quickly as you can.
I did. I'm not going to say that's the reason why I switched to Android, but it partially is because at the time I was like, fuck this, I'm moving to Calyx. And now I'm running stock Android for reasons. But
it just
for the most part, okay. I have to say that I used it back in 2013. I had an HTC Hero, which was actually a really good phone. I wasn't impressed with the Android operating system at the time. It's way better now. It's actually a really fucking good operating system. The issue is all the Google bullshit and the bullshit that Google's doing too. I mean, you really can't get away from it. At least for the most part, from what Tox was talking about, you have the ability to go and turn off the mesh networking shit with the Android. I still have a lot of concerns with it. But I have to give Google praise. They make a really fucking good product. The Pixel phone is really good.
Yeah. Well, it's also just getting off an iPhone. You're saving yourself a couple $100 easy.
Yep.
I mean, anything you can do on an iPhone
for a more powerful product, you save $300.
Well, it's all about keeping people in their
ecosystem
sphere too. Yeah, in the ecosystem. Exactly.
I
They're
picked
walled
up a phone
garden.
at Sam's Club for $190. It's bigger. It's like a Samsung. It's a Motorola, and then I put Mint Mobile on it for $180 a year. So for basically
Linux,
almost $350, a little bit more. I can't add whatever 160 plus 160 is 320. I have 4 gigabyte of data. For 12 months, and then I just hook it up to my router, and for that amount of money, it's a throwaway phone.
Yeah,
you know, and I've got multiple phones, one for business, one for personal, one for all those late night texting sessions with comics, and this latest one, I had to get a big screen for that for the pictures he was sending me. Gee whiz, I can see that stuff.
It's got to be HD, otherwise you're just wasting at that point.
4K. Man, there are just certain wrinkles you really need to zoom into. I'm just telling you. But it's convenient for us, and it's in the gaming world. You see this stuff happening, and you see it's not easy to stand up and say no. It's not easy as the person that they're attacking to say, okay, you're telling me that the cloud's too white. I'm telling you that 70% of this country is white.
Yeah.
That's the census, folks. That's facts. I'm telling you that about 49% of them are male. If you want us to not work and you want us to be, out not doing stuff, this country is going to fall apart. Right? Any of these groups that we have and stuff, moving around all those things. So it's hard to stand up and say, I'm not doing that. I've recently done that at work with something, and we'll see what that means. It comes up, but there are people out there who've taken that stand, but it's not easy. It's very hard. It's very easy to go with the flow, and
it is.
Yeah.
Gina got kicked off of Twitter for telling us all that.
Yeah.
Because that's how it happened in Germany and how it happened in Japan back in the time before all those hundreds of millions of people were killed. So.
Yep.
And thankfully, there are other alternatives out there. I mean, there is the Freedom phone, and there's also the phone that Reuben got.
Librem, yeah.
The Librem, yeah.
Yeah,
the Librum's nice because you can take the battery out of it.
Yes.
You know, guys, for many
Yeah, I
years,
like that.
I worked for BlackBerry, which everyone laughs about now, of course. I worked
Yeah.
for BlackBerry for 10 years. We had the most
tech
secure.
support BlackBerry.
We had the most secure phones out there, and even when we started making Android phones, it was a far more secure version of Android. But of course, nobody wanted that. They wanted whatever. So, and they killed
They want
themselves.
ease.
Yeah, but they were a
Sadly.
secure phone. That was the main thing. Much more secure. So,
Yep. Had several
anyway,
Blackberries.
that's not what people wanted. I've still got loads of new ones here. I've got a drawer.
They want
full.
everything free.
They
I've
want
got a drawer.
So
full.
they pay
they're
the
still in
price.
business, right? They're just,
Well, when I still worked for them, they changed to a software company, and they're actually a lot more successful than people would think as a software company.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, BlackBerry
Yes.
was really, really good. That when I was working, I used to support on a DoD contract. I used to support service members,
Yeah.
and that's all they were issued was BlackBerry because they were secure.
Yeah. And they've
Until
got
it was
great
like,
mobile device management stuff. They've got the world's leading crisis management software. So I don't work for them now, but I was a technical sales software guy at the end of my time with them, and they bought a lot of companies because they had cash, even though their hardware had gone down the drain. They had cash. They didn't go under, and they used it wisely.
So they evolved.
To buy stuff, yeah. So they survived, and they're actually doing pretty well now. But it's all about security because most normies don't care about security.
No,
Care
they
about
well, they
ease.
don't think about it
They
until they
should.
get
They
kicked
should.
in the butt.
They should, yeah.
So
I mean, if they're not doing anything wrong, I mean, what do they have to worry about?
Oh, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
it.
not me. I have nothing to worry about.
Maybe Human
I got
says
nothing to hide.
part of what makes Apple so insidious is that people with extensive iTunes music collections are bound to the iPhone. You can't move those purchase licenses to Android. You can.
Isn't there an iTunes app?
Yeah, you convert them.
You can convert them to MP3. But yeah.
I already went through a lot.
They make you
Black
work for it.
FLAC.
Yeah.
I convert
remember
everything I buy in
NFT was
iTunes.
argument for that. Like those 70s.
So,
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, I hate MP3s. They sound like they sound horrifically bad. Oh God.
The next time you go to, you download software, you look at something on your phone or whatever, and they say, click the user agreement. Actually read it. And
That's good advice.
just get down and read it. And that way you can make an informed decision of whether or not you're going to do something about this or you're just going to go along with the herd.
Read it and weep.
Yeah.
Recently,
I was going to say sheep,
Final-
but then 70s probably start getting horny, and I didn't want to.
You know why Scotsmans wear kilts, right? Because a sheep can hear a zipper a mile away.
Uh-oh.
Funny, we should say that about Montanans up in Idaho, but hey.
Yes.
You know where their bagpipes came from.
The great thing about making love to sheep is you don't really have to talk about it or talk about it to its problems or take it to dinner or anything like that.
Yeah.
You may have to run around the front to kiss it goodnight. That's the only thing.
Oh God.
Oh my God. Tag all the ones that kicked.
And you don't like them shaved? You like them old school?
Oh dear.
Strategically shaved, only shaved in parts.
Well, you want to keep them fluffy so you can fall asleep on top of them afterwards.
Exactly. You shave them, they look like a goat, and that would be weird.
Yeah, I like something that lets me know my sheep is an adult.
Yeah.
Right.
70s spends a lot of money on Nair. That's
right. Yes. It's funny. There is have you ever seen the Woody Allen film "Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask"?
I stopped when you said Woody Allen.
There's a whole Gene Wilder sketch in that about sheep. That's
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He ends up on the street drinking he's hooked on drinking the wool cleaner, Woolac or whatever.
Woolac. Lonnie's gonna take off comics.
What's that?
I gotta
gonna
bail.
take off.
Alrighty. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go.
Where can people find you?
Oh, news.freedomain.radio. That's where I print everything that's fit to print. So you can go check it out there. We've been doing updates on all the local hurricanes this week. So, yeah. And also, we cover a few other people out there as well. So,
well, awesome, man. Well, thank you for stopping by, and we will catch you next time, sir.
Talk to you later.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Take care.
No ticket.
And then there was 9. The hell was that?
Watching football.
Oh, okay.
A couple of ladies just walked into the.
But back to what you're saying, Talks. I think reading the end user license agreement is important. Anything basically, the terms of service, you guys need to read. Everybody needs to do it. I know I'm just as fucking guilty of not doing it, but that's something I've been doing more and more of, is going and making sure that I read the user agreements.
There's a reason they make it that long. It's so you don't read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like most people don't realize the rentals. What was it? I don't know if you heard recently, when they axed Final Space off HBO, people were complaining saying, hey, I bought the seasons 1 and 2 on Amazon, all this other stuff. Right. And all of it got deleted, and they actually went to your device, and actually if it was where it's caught on your device, they purged it off your device.
That's
They
messed
completely
up.
purge it off. Yeah, so basically everyone who had, the only ones who still have, I think, is HBO Max itself, because it's going to run for a few more months. I know there's a few, one subsidy, VRV, I think might still have it up for a few more months. But after that, it's all gone. Every other platform that outside of those ones, it was completely purged off of. And everyone even kind of said, well, technically it was in the end user license. This wasn't you purchasing it. You were purchasing a rental agreement.
That's fucking
you don't
ridiculous,
own it,
man.
because that's what most of this is most people don't realize the digital purchases aren't actually purchases. You're basically buying what is in quotes, a lifetime rental agreement.
Mm-hmm.
But that lifetime is what they consider the lifetime of the product, not your lifetime.
Right. How interesting, though, they think they can get away with going into your device, your personal device, and taking it off there. I mean, would they consider it okay to walk into your house and delete it off your hard drive? It's the same thing.
It's probably part of the EULA. That 35-page agreement that you signed when you got your phone and your phone service, and when you sign up for Amazon and you pay them, and all of that stuff says they can do to you whatever they want.
I guess so.
Now, it didn't used to be that way.
Well,
it used to be smaller.
In all honesty, though, somebody really needs to challenge the legality of a EULA.
They have.
There
have been many people that have.
There are a lot of people. The biggest last case, this was years ago, was the PV trailer for when they were making, I think, what's going to be the new Silent Hill video game. Before they kicked the guy, PT, not PV, PT. And what happened with Sony was, after the whole falling out with the creator, if PlayStation detected that trailer on your console, it was being deleted automatically. It didn't matter what. So the only way that gameplay still survives is through all these bootlegs that are constantly shared through the internet. And Sony actively hunts these down. So any site hosting it, they get nailed very quickly as soon as they catch a whiff of it. So they've been running like crazy, trying to pass them around, keep it alive. But you cannot play that on your Sony console if it's connected to the internet, because as soon as it pops up and it catches it on your hard drive, boom, it's deleted.
Well, there have been in-user license challenges this month. There's many of them that go out there for that. The Patreon. So the Patreon, the end-user license agreement, all that stuff said that you had to get an arbiter, and that would be paid up to a certain amount by Patreon, da-da-da. And that's why Sargon of Akkad got I think that's who it was, got so many other people, like 1,000 other people.
It was Sargon and Carl Benjamin.
Carl Benjamin. Yeah. So they got a bunch of people. I don't have the number off the top of my head. We looked into that a couple of months ago, 6-7 months ago. But because
Sargon is Carl Benjamin. Hold on.
Sorry, sorry.
Owen Benjamin.
I was just saying,
Owen Benjamin. Thank you.
Yeah. So
I get them confused sometimes. Sorry.
The arbitration had to be paid for by Patreon. So if they went and arbitrated these people, it was going to cost them like $20 million. to do that. So it's the Saul Alinsky stuff where we've got to look at that and then use their rules against them. And I think the first thing that we've got to come to grips with, it's already so bad that it's going to be a very long time before we get out of this.
Yes.
They've already taken so many of our freedom, the whole boiled frog thing, that the end user license agreement started small and it got bigger and it got bigger and got bigger. How many of you read the HIPAA agreements and things when you go to the doctor and see what they can do with your data? And I cross through that, initial it, hand it to them, make the front desk person initial it, done. And they can't refuse service. That's still kind of illegal in most things. But
we're saying you cross it out on the document.
What
so
parts
on the
are you
document
crossing
when they have
out?
something I don't like, they said, okay, they can share my data with this people. I cross it out. I initial it. I have the person at the front desk initial it too, and then that makes it binding because they're a representative of the medical center or whoever it is at that point.
That's a life hack.
There is a principle in contract though where a contract is not legally enforceable if it is what is it?
Altered.
No. If it's so egregiously one-sided, like you, for example, couldn't sign yourself into indentured
slavery.
Yeah. Because it was so one-sided that So
yeah, but if the agreement says you're renting the device and you agree to renting the device, I mean, you're pretty much screwed.
Well, that's
in
true.
Theory. Yeah, in theory, it's like protection, but in actual practice, is like a comment, like Toxic just said right there. Well, it's just renting the device. Like, there's a lot you can argue against it. Basically, like, well, no, it's not that exploitive, and they've agreed to it. This is fine.
Well, I mean,
they're
just
trying
a trade-off.
Well,
they're
I'm
trying
sorry.
to do
Go ahead,
this with
Dethangels.
cars.
You speak. My fault. Go Dethangels.
Yeah, my concern is all of these EULAs. When you go to the government, you have actual bills that are written in the same fashion, that they hide a lot of things inside the bills. And then the senators and Congress people just don't read the bill, don't care.
No, you can read it after it's passed.
Well, read it after we pass it.
But the thing is that what's scary is these laws are being written by legal people that are set up by corporations to go into the government to make the laws in their favor.
They're not even writing them though. They're written by
lobbyists.
Yeah. But that's the whole point. The whole point is that's why we're the person that has to blame for this is me, is you, is us. We accept it. We let it happen. Right. We excuse it. We're excusing it in the things that our phones, our equipment, when we go get car loans, when we do anything financial, because they set the system up, and then the laws get written, and then they do it there, and that's why I'm saying get up, vote, and make a difference.
Absolutely. Dude, I dread buying a new computer at this point. I really do, mainly because of the whole telemetry thing, right? Where they basically send certain things about your information. You're not going to say your data, but they do send metadata back to the owner of the operating system, right? This is the stuff that Apple has been doing, Microsoft is doing. I'm very concerned about upgrading to Windows 11 on my PC. Don't want to do it. Thankfully, it can't do it because I don't have something enabled. Thank God it's not enabled. But I really like Mac laptops, and I dread at this point buying one because of what they're doing.
Is the experience of the OS? What's the appeal for you?
For me, it's the experience. I mean, I've been using, Apple products.
You can get a Linux that looks exactly like that. You can.
I know, but the experience is one thing. There's also certain applications I use, right? And I'm a big user of Adobe products. Everything that I produce that is a video is done by Adobe in some form or fashion. Be it a thumbnail with Photoshop, Premiere for recording or editing. Really, I don't record using Premiere. And granted, there are alternatives I can go to. I will never use GIMP. GIMP is nowhere near as good as Photoshop, though there are other things out there that do run on Linux that are probably a good Photoshop replacement. My whole thing, my complaint, my argument about Linux on the desktop for decades, has it been decades? Yeah, I guess it has been decades, is that the only way you're going to get Linux on the desktop is when it runs Adobe products. So you need to get Photoshop working on it, Premiere, et cetera, then it can actually be a true desktop replacement for Windows.
No, I think Adobe's in bed with both Microsoft and Apple. So
they are.
You know.
Toxic's experience with GIMPs, isn't he? Aren't you, Toxic?
Yes, with several of them. And I'm actually kind of hurt because Comix said that he was actually very happy with the GIMPs that he had. And now I'm going to have to go find some more.
You know.
Shut up, Tox.
I had to go to San Francisco to get the last. Jesus Christ.
GIMP sleeping.
No, and I've tried to use the GIMP too, and it's got a steep curve on it.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I've tried to use it years ago.
I know that you brought up DaVinci, Darius, and that's one thing I was looking to as maybe being an alternative.
Because DaVinci Resolve, I've got DaVinci Resolve. It's pretty good. I've been playing around with it.
Dethangels, you make a good point. It's the steep learning curve. So, and we had a discussion about AI earlier this week on the channel, and technology is not easy. Okay. Back when I started, I was designing.
You're breaking up and being kind of robotic.
You're gimping out.
It's our
technology
AI
is not easy.
They're coming after me.
Yeah,
what it is?
Yes.
All right. Is that better?
Nope.
No, Tox is our robot overlord trying to sneak in.
Oh, I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
now you're good. Now you're good.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
It had to be an internet thing. So we were talking about AI earlier in the week, and what is available, what you can do, and I don't believe that there's any such thing as artificial intelligence from a technical standpoint. It's impossible to do for many reasons. But back when I started in the tech world, I was designing actual computer processors at the gate level, and we've progressed so much from what I had to do to program just to get the computer to add numbers, to create a calculator, from the machine language all the way up to languages such as C, C++, those kind of things that made things a little easier. But then you got into interpreted languages, Java, Visual Basic, and now you have all these libraries out there. You don't know what's happening at that core level.
Right. That's true.
So to do things on Linux and all those other platforms, you don't have the vast amount of money behind it to put all the polish in for the general public, right? Lotus 123. It was the first real mega app. It came out on IBM. It was used in accounting, and it really revolutionized accounting.
I had a copy of that.
Yeah, and it got better and got better. And then Windows, it's funny, Windows goes to Windows 10, finally looks like Windows, nobody wants it. But and the operating system, when they came up and making things easier, dragging and dropping, oh my God, was that huge for people being able to do stuff, because they didn't have to go into the operating system level and do CD star dot doc space c : dot directory.
That's like the one thing that a lot of the Linux hardcore guys don't get is, it's cool that you can do all that shit from the command line. Most people don't want to do that. They want a window to be able to drag and drop shit.
Right, and that it's a convenience thing. So we'll give up our freedoms for convenience until they come for us.
Right.
And we've seen that throughout history. Not just I've studied the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s in Japan, Germany, and the US, and that kind of area quite a bit. So my default is to go to there because I know it. But Comix, I don't know if you all know this, but Comix does have a degree in anthropology and does know quite a bit about civilizations and history. And nothing? Okay. And then,
yes, I've heard him talk about it.
Something of an expert, my son.
Something of a you might say.
It's not like it's not the same joke as Gary owns a comic shop.
That's true. It's not. Comics has an anthropology degree. Yeah.
Comics has a useless anthropology degree.
Well, it's been quite useful in our discussions. I don't know.
At times. Yeah.
But you see that throughout history, and it could be that maybe we just have to realize we're at that point in history where it's going to suck for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to have to deal with it. And you're going to be like, yeah, okay, so the story of the ant storing things up, and then the other one, it was the squirrels. One squirrel was storing up, the other one was playing around, and then one had everything it needed for winter, and the other one did not. You know, and from there. And the fairy tales and stuff about storing food and not going out in the woods and all those. There's a reason for those things, and I think we may be going to a period where those of us who weren't 100% prepared for this are just going to have to give up our principles and to survive. So I think it's a different kind of survival that we're in right now, as opposed to what our ancestors did several thousand years ago.
Yep. Also, welcome, Pope. What's up, Pope?
Hey, guys.
Pope.
That my mic wasn't working for some reason. Brave apparently didn't like my microphone.
Yeah, Brave. Brave is weird, dude. I tried using StreamYards with Brave, and it doesn't work out. So I just stick with Chrome.
Yeah, I had that problem earlier. I tried to use StreamYard for the last episode of Rock and Roll Religion that I did today, and it wouldn't go through. So I had to use Chrome, which is unfortunate.
Now that Pope's here, I gotta leave. Sorry, guys, because I can't be on the same stream as my son. It's so uncool for him. So.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow for Hammer Horror, Dad.
See you tomorrow, son. Yes, come prepared for Hammer Horror special. It's only rock and roll on that 70s Rock Fan channel. 2 p.m. tomorrow Pacific. Be there, and we will have a lot of fun showing the blood and the boobs.
Exactly.
Hooray!
And then obviously I'll be in the chat and modding on yelling at Thursday night, Monday Park Car Clouds, or whatever it's called on Monday.
Yelling at Park Clouds.
Something like this.
You know, that's the next one.
Anyway, good night, everybody, and see you tomorrow.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Little bald fuck to you.
I'm sorry, I played the
good
wrong.
Night, everybody.
No, I'm so sorry.
Good night.
No ticket.
Well, we could add twofer because I know that 5 picoseconds.
Yeah, I got to drop as well. This has been good as always, everyone. Nice to talk with some sane people for once.
I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah, that's
I live in Canada.
I say, when did that happen?
There are sane people in here. Boot them.
Well, thanks for stopping by 5 picoseconds. It's great always having you on, man.
Ow.
Anything you want to plug?
No. Still nothing.
All right.
I'll try starting something in the new year. I got to get a new mic first, but...
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Avoid the chickens.
We'll try a different outro for you. So here we go.
And then, as always, restopping that groin.
I was expecting the oh my god the cock, but
oh my god the cock.
Thank you.
There you go.
But hey, you gotta restart that grind, right?
Yeah,
that's right. You do.
He aims to please.
See you guys.
See ya. Have a good weekend.
Take care, man. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's kind of funny about it with Kempo, I mean, that's kind of the joke, right? Is once you have them down the ground or something like that, there's all these like things that they do for add-ons, and I mean, there's a reason why Master Ken adds that into his thing, the whole Meridote thing, because the Meridote is based off of Kempo because he's a Kempoist, and yes, there's a lot of restomping the groin in Kempo.
Well, I mean, that's not alone. I mean, we got taught in the Marine Corps martial arts program that basically if you get a guy on the ground and you're still standing up, you basically axe stomp him in the face.
Yeah. That's like
the end of it.
Is that it's like, okay, drop your knee, break his ankle, stomp his groin, and kick his face.
Well, I mean, at that point, when you're talking a fully armored Marine, you're just gonna stomp down on his head, kill him, and end it.
Well, this is you're not. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna try and take it that far. I mean, it is.
Well, but I mean, we don't take it that far in practice, but that is how we're trained.
Yeah,
because we're trained to basically most effectively take down that opponent and move on to the next one.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with Kenpo. It's not about killing somebody. It's about disabling your opponent and getting the hell out of there.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same idea, just on a much less, with much lower stakes because everyone has a weapon,
right?
So I do understand it, and a lot of our moves actually come from Kenpo.
That's cool.
The Marine Corps martial arts program is kind of an amalgamation of a whole bunch of other martial arts that, like, we basically take what works.
Yeah, Arnis is also really good. Modern Arnis. A lot of the Filipino stuff. It was really interesting because my old instructor, he's retired now. He's talking about it's like if he found out about the Filipino stuff, he would have gone that route because it's very similar. There's a lot of similarities between the Filipino stuff and Kenpo. They do a lot more destructions.
Yep.
And that shit is awesome. If you can basically break your opponent's fist, they're not hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, you have to sign the user agreement.
Yeah.
Well, hey, especially in things like, Muay Thai and stuff like that, you sign the fucking waiver when you get into the ring. So whatever happens to you is, it's all good. Because in Muay Thai, knee strikes and leg strikes don't count unless they cause bodily damage.
Right. And
so,
I'll be honest with you, man, getting hit in the leg hurts. It really freaking hurts.
Depending on where, like if you take it on the medial thigh, it's not bad. But if you get hit in the shin or somewhere it's bone on bone, well,
that hurts. Okay, but the thing is, if you know where to hit, even the medial areas, if you go for that nerve cluster, it's gonna fucking hurt, dude. And you don't have to do it that hard.
No, you really don't.
Sounds like a real shindig.
Honestly, the funniest thing is one of the most effective techniques is to kick him in the fucking shin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. You can
hurts.
You could basically scrape the kneecap. I mean, there's all sorts of nasty things you could do. But there was one time my current instructor, he didn't hit me that hard, but he hit me like right in the nerve cluster, or right where the nerve is in the leg. And seriously, it's like that, like tenses your muscle up, and I was legit limping for like 3 days before that thing kind of unleashed.
And there are specific points you can hit too, where it doesn't even matter what you're trying to do, your body will just naturally fold around that point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you hit someone in the back of the knee, well, this is why like judo knee throws work so well in hip throws. Because you're basically designed to fold around that point.
Right.
So you can't even fight against it because your body, it just doesn't have a defense against that. You can be as strong as you want. You can still get thrown by a judo master.
Well, that's one thing for me. I'm pretty limber. And when we were like doing lock stuff, there's certain people, it's like, you tweak the wrist and they're in pain. That shit doesn't happen to me. I have to comply or I break a limb. Is what it comes down to. Because you can crank my wrist up pretty good and it doesn't hurt. But yeah, there's a point in time where I have to comply because, well, skeleton.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what we train. Like we train the same way as most police officers in terms of that, where we'll, especially with the wrist lock, we'll just lock your wrist out, especially down, because like once your hand goes down, you have a certain amount of motion, and then your skeleton takes over, and your wrist just stops moving.
Yeah,
and after that, you are going to follow your arm.
Have you done any kind of like lock flows?
I wouldn't say anything like that. I mean, we were trained as much as we needed to be overseas. So we were mostly trained with bayonets, a lot of hand-to-hand stuff, a lot of...
Well, lock flows is hand-to-hand. Is essentially what we're currently talking about with the
McMap.
Yeah, McMap is exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I was trained in.
Gotcha.
I just tossed my ex-wife at whoever's coming at me, and they run away in fear.
Well, I mean, that's an effective tactic as well.
Yeah, the stench first, and then everything else.
Jesus Christ!
It's just it's.
God damn it, Tox.
The sulfur.
You guys think I'm lying? I do.
Run for her.
So that's the trick is getting
Your bank
that
account
fat
is
cow
mine.
off the ground is by just kind of roller at things. So I try to get the high ground so that people attack me. I can then roll the ex-wife down with them. So it makes things a little
Is that
easier.
the roly-poly defense?
That's the giant land whale defense is what that is.
Oh my God.
So once you get that level of blubber flying in one way, you just get out of the way. Just
I
let it
will
work.
say this, though, having hand-on experience in the real world, weighted classes exist for a reason, people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Don't challenge someone outside your weight class, especially if they're wearing 100 pounds worth of armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen. It happened to me. It did not go well for him.
Oh, God.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I need a
that's
firearm because I weigh like 130 pounds.
That's when I go outside, like Chicago and stuff, I'm pretty big. I mean, huge. So if I've done it for a while, I'll just grab somebody and just throw them.
I'll put it this way: at that
That's
point,
weird.
I probably weighed 330 pounds in my armor.
Jesus.
Oh shit!
So that's 215 pounds worth of pissed off Marine plus 85 pounds.
I mean, is
plus
that
worth
like
attack
full
gear.
gear, like backpack and all? I mean,
No, that's just our armor and mission kit.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Our full kit's 165 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like strapping on another fair-sized person.
Well, to be fair, 15 of those pounds for Pope were all penis.
Well, I mean, that's true. That's true, but it's on the front, so it kind of counterbalances.
Right, counterbalances it. But I mean, when you have a third leg, that kind of makes you hard to throw.
Well,
I'm
it's
just
true.
saying.
You can't fall over easily.
Yeah, the
That's
most
right.
stable shape is a pyramid. So there you go.
Yeah, well, you know, we always try to do that. So it's why I was such a good hockey player, except I wasn't.
All right,
Stop
gang.
fucking
We
around.
have surpassed the 2-hour mark, so it is time to get going. So let's go ahead and start doing our outs, and I will start with you, Reuben.
Comics, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to you have a new channel coming on, I heard.
Yeah. I should probably plug that. I have Pop Culture Prepping and Politics with Ian K. If somebody who is modding can drop the link, you can go check it out. I already have 4 videos out there. Yeah.
Nice.
From
cool.
last week. So we'll be
Good
working on
stuff.
another one tomorrow. So
I guess that's the one thing. Basically, I'm here to support because I believe in what you're doing. I've always believed what you're doing.
thank you, sir.
I followed you before Vegas, and that was the whole idea. All the things you've done, the research you do, and everybody here, everyone does good research. We know what we're talking about in the sense that we are invested in our own futures for wanting good culture. I've been listening to what I've been doing. I've been reading old books, listening to music. And may do some podcasts on it, listening to some good classical music, some good, old music, recordings, and just having fun again, Like I said, I did a video yesterday, and I'm going to be doing more videos coming up because I am going to see the doctor things are better, but they could get worse. I'm going to find out. I might have MS. I don't know but I don't have cancer. I know that already because the tumor I have is shrinking, and they're going to do some tests soon. So more front on that soon. But keep me in your prayers. Looking forward to seeing people in October here at the end of the month in Orlando. Get your tickets there. I may be limited in mobility during the meetup, so who knows? Just I'll do what I can. But I'll be there.
Take care, Reuben, man. Get better.
Yes. Good vibes heading your way, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Terminus Est comes out of nowhere with zingers.
What?
I said he comes out of nowhere with zingers.
Yeah, it's yeah, it comes out when it happens when it happens. It just happens. It just I don't really full force it. It's I don't really. I usually don't try to force it, but yeah. But anyway, it's really been nice to hang with y'all hanging out with y'all all in the Dix Division and as usual in comics. I'm always love hanging out in your streams, you know.
Well, thank you, sir.
And yeah, I'm just yeah, so I kind of miss the times when I used to super send a bunch of funny super chats a lot, but yeah, it's but yeah, I gotta save money.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I understand. And you're doing the 3D modeling thing, and keep at it, man. Good things are going to be heading your way. Just keep at it. Oops, sorry. I
am working with a game, and y'all it talks about y'all speaking about games. I am actually working for a game company. It's a game company that's developing the Age of Empires series. You know.
Nice.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah. I'm part of the team that works in DLC for making DLC for Age of Empires 2 definitive edition, and we have and if y'all are into that, if you're into that game, we have a new DLC coming out, but
somebody in the industry,
huh?
Dude,
somebody in the industry.
I'm just going to have to go and pick that game up simply because you're working on it. So thanks for letting me know.
100%.
Age of Empires 2, really?
Well, yeah, it's
I came up on that game.
Yeah, same here. Same here, but that game's near and dear to me, but it's still going. It's since been under a heavy upgrade. It's been and heavily updated with new expansions, new DLCs, as I said, and much better graphics. It still runs on the 2D engine, but the graphics are just but the graphics in the original game that was released back in the 90s are nowhere or a far cry from the graphics now.
Nice.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude. Well, thanks for letting us know. Like I said, I'm definitely have to go pick that up and get those DLCs that you're contributing to.
Absolutely, I'll have to go buy that.
Yeah, for sure. As always, Terminus, thanks for being here, man. I truly appreciate the jokes that you're able to insert on occasion.
Yeah.
The stream wouldn't be the same without you. So thank you, man.
Oh, thank you. I'm much appreciated, and I have a Twitter. If y'all wanna, if y'all are curious, I'm at EST84 Terminus, and I'm like to just give my takes on pop culture and also this messed up world that's we live in.
I know, man. It's getting kind of crazy out there.
Yep.
Thanks again, Terminus.
You're welcome.
Marksman.
Yep. You can find me occasionally streaming on Twitch under the alias Gentleman General. So if you ever feel like hanging out, just go check out, because I play a bunch of different games from strategies, FPSs, RTSs, and so on. Just feel free to hop in and join me.
Thanks for being here, man.
No problem. I love being here talking to you guys. Oh, and I should mention this because we're talking about how a lot of stuff's going woke and whatever. But it's also where I wanted to bring up the Choo Choo Charles thing. Is like, no matter, as much like we may seem like all we do is we sit around bitching, complaining about like how they just keep ruining these IPs. All these idiots have no clue what they're doing. There's just as big a market, and it's been growing even more and more. People just keep forgetting to turn and look of all these other creators, indie market, and people are hungry to go in for it. Like gaming market, you can find millions of indie games. Even with TV, you go like Amazon Prime, there's like dozens of other shows, smaller projects that have a lot more care and passion bit into it. Because some people are so used to just the visual spectacle, they've forgotten what it's like to have real substance now. It's like, you don't need to have that visual spectacle if you have that substance. And it's still out there and you can still find it. Hell, just recently, I'm taking my comic Isom from friggin' Eric July made to work to show to my coworkers, because they're all big comic fans and they haven't been able to buy a new comic in years because, oh shit, I showed them a little sample, some pictures, some art, showed them who's working on it. I'm bringing it in because they all want to check it out because they're thinking of getting their own copies.
Hell yeah.
So it's like, while they may own tendency to say like the production, whatever, they don't actually, doesn't mean they get all the people that come with it. Everyone's looking for a way out. Everyone wants to go other places. So it's like always, there's just take a look around. You'll be surprised the shit you can find that easily replace everything here. Like it's basically even like what Az says. We don't need them. They sure as hell need us.
That is 100% true.
Okay.
All right, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dethangels Shadow.
Hey, everybody. Dethangels Shadow here. Mostly been chilling out, playing radio. So comics, if you ever need some help, on the communication side, old school style, let me know. Hit me up, and we'll talk radio.
Yeah, dude. Seriously.
Been at it a while.
I've been seriously thinking about getting the ham radio license. Like I said, as I mentioned before, I do have concerns about it.
Sure.
That one thing I talked about, but
yep.
Yeah.
But fisted radio license for you.
Well, my name is Dethangels Shadow. You can find me on Ham Radio Rejects. I do have a YouTube channel. I was actually live streaming a net that I was on last night. But at any rate, check me out there. Of course, you can find me on the Gilded server, and as well as I've got a couple of Discord servers I hang out as myself. So, at any rate, but appreciate the conversation as always, and happy to be here, and glad to see everybody, and loving the Odyssey chat. So great to see that
awesome,
really starting
man.
to take off, and glad to see Nick back.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, Nick's a hell of a dude.
Yes, he is. Yep.
And probably the guy with the smoothest voice on the panel, Darius Munchausen.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's good to be back. I had to go away for a little while, but I'm easing my way back in. Starting with the best, Mr. Comix Division.
Well, thank you, sir.
Don't tell Tox I said that.
Listening right here.
He gets jealous.
So yeah, I am still, technically on a break. In the meantime, you can still find me on that 70s Rock Fan channel on Mondays, every other Monday, and Slasher McSplitter on Thursdays. We're back on Thursdays watching bad movies, and you can see me in the chat.
Hey man, thanks for joining. It's happy to see you back, man.
Yeah, thank you.
And last but not least, Pope Metallicus I.
Well, hey guys, thanks for having me on once again. And I just came off of my latest episode of Rock and Roll Religion, where we did a second episode on Iron Maiden, going from Seventh Son to Brave New World. Not my favorite period, but we got it done. So there's that. if you guys love the heavy stuff and like hearing people talk about albums you either love or hate or whatever, well, that's what we do here. And I'll be taking a hiatus here in probably a month or so. But until then, you can catch me over on my channel, Pope Metallicus I, and also on Twitch at Pope_Metallicus, where I occasionally play games when I remember I have a Twitch channel.
Fair enough.
Usually it's Battletech and 40k stuff, although me and a friend of mine have been talking about doing some World of Warships. So if you fancy guys just sucking at games and being assholes while doing it, well, we're your channel. And
thanks, man.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Oh, you're welcome. You take care.
Absolutely.
All right, Tox, what we got going on?
Well, tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central, was it Central, not Standard Time anymore, Central Daylight Time.
Central, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, CDT. All right. We've got Brandon Morse joining us for Yelling at Parked Cars. It's always a great time when Brandon's on. We're going to do our best to get over to Odyssey on time this time and have some more discussion over there. We had a really good discussion on Thursday.
We did.
Then, believe it or not, next Thursday is the last episode of the first season of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. And
hopefully it'll be the last episode of She-Hulk.
There are many of us out there that are going to cry tears of joy when this is over. Comix and I are discussing doing an award show for She-Hulk called the She-Hulkies. So we're going to be talking that. Maybe we'll do some comedic bits around that. But we're also going to look at ISOM as a group next week on Thursday. And then Carrie Smith on the 17th joining us. We've got a lot of great guests coming up. We're going to do a election night stream on the 7th of November. We already have Carrie Smith, Brandon Morris, Shagworth is going to join us. I'm going to try and get some other people to join too. Got some feelers out for that. So
is it the 7th or the 8th? It's the 8th is election
day.
The
8th? Oh, yes, it's the 8th. I cannot read. So there you go. But
alrighty. Awesome. Man, I'm looking forward to the upcoming weeks, man. The the election stream is gonna be fire. I've yet to decide what I'm gonna do with it, whether we're gonna go full YouTube the entire time, or we'll do an hour of YouTube and cut over to Odyssey and try and get as many people over there as we can, so we can give our honest feedback about what is going on. So
I think option B might be best because they're going to be policing this one hard.
Oh yeah, well yeah. So it could be an hour and a half that we switch over and we just do the rest of the stream there. But like I said, it's all depends on the amount of people that show up and want to move over to the other side. So we shall see. We'll get it figured out. I just want to say thank you to all you fine gentlemen who are on the panel tonight. I do appreciate the support that you guys give me. I really do. One of the things that we kind of talked about, briefly on F&T last Friday was the whole thing with there's a lack of gratitude in this world. And that is something that sucks, right? I mean, it's probably the big part of the reason why we're in the situation that we're in currently. So I just want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you to everyone who supports me either through super chats or just hanging out and watching. I really do appreciate it. Never in a million years did I think that this channel would get over 100 subs, let alone 10,000. So I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who supports me. I truly do appreciate it. Much gratitude.
Well, it was you or Az, and after the trans tits fiasco, I don't know.
Way to ruin the moment, Marksman.
It was such a heartfelt moment too there, man.
And don't forget to restomp that grunt.
Oh, I will.
Well, if I was going to fondle the balls of anybody, it would be a short man. So.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. A huge thanks to all the Subscribe Star supporters. Without you, Comix Division would probably be hoeing on a corner somewhere. Dark Brahmadeus, Elagabalus, Reuben Christopher Haynes, and Toxic Man Flu. Well, hello there, big spender. iMav, HMStix, and Roger the Shrubber. I'm a sucker with a lot of dough. 5 picoseconds, Crazy Catguy, J.A.F.O, and Zelashi. Take my money, damn it. AJ Speaks, Billy Go Boom, Brahmabull, Chris from the 80s, Commander Ed STRAKER of Shadow, DariusM, Dethangels Shadow, Dexidoodle, Digital Remnant, E. Clay, gentlemanmad, J.A.F.O, JoesAtmosfere, Just Another Redshirt, Katina Martin, LDH27513, LDBlues, Mech AG94, MrTickleTrunk, nogreenrocks, Pete Bickford, Pope Metallicus I, That 70s Rock Fan, Terminus S, TZ Burton, user number 710C9719, user number 1021029A, and user number C32A7350. I'll buy that for $1. Captain Fandom Nerd, Colin Douglas, Jenna Lynn, Magitech Mags, Stand 4, and user C2B7C4F4. Thank you all for watching. You are amazing.
Go to Culture Casino. He's doing a stream right now. Go over there and tell him you said hi.
Buenos dias, muchachos.
Good night, everybody.
See ya.